cabinet ministers, and then after their meeting through the Minister of Communication, I got to realize that some taxes on fuel will be scrapped. And also the Minister of Transport has been given a directive to ensure that buses are being deployed to traffic-prone areas. Yes. So yeah, I think that is something that really caught my attention. I was very, very happy. But they said in the course of the week they are going to reveal to us the type of taxes that will be scrapped on fuel.
Yeah. I think this happened actually over the weekend.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
Ms. Eugenia, anything that caught your attention?
Everything is in the news headline.
Everything is in the news headline. Right. At this juncture, let's get into it then. Don't worry. Anti-LGBTQ plus bill will be passed, Bagbin assures. Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin says the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, widely known as the Anti-LGBTQ plus bill, will be passed by the current Parliament. He gave this assurance at a stakeholders forum in Kaswa, where traditional rulers, residents, and officials met to discuss development issues. According to him, the delay in passing the bill into law was because the former president did not give his approval after it was passed by the previous parliament. As a result, the process had to start again under the current parliament. Mr. Bagbin explained that the current parliament is different in composition and is better positioned to pass the bill when it reconvenes. He also noted that the bill reflects the values and views of many Ghanaians and traditional leaders following extensive public discussions on the matter. The bill, which seeks to address issues related to sexual orientation and family values, has sparked strong debate across the country, with both support and criticism from different groups. So this is an assurance coming from the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, who says that they are going to pass the anti-LGBTQ bill. The reason why this whole bill has delayed is because the previous administration failed to sign it, and then due to that, the process had to start again. But he's assuring us that he's going to make sure that the anti-LGBTQ bill is passed. Miss Debbie, is this enough assurance
that the bill will be passed? Sorry, I don't really trust the Speaker of Parliament.
Why?
When I saw this, like it's very good. Okay, it's a good destiny place out there. But then he was still Speaker during the previous administration when the bill was brought to Parliament.
I know a whole lot of issues.
Yes, it is the same thing that is still arising during this time. What we are seeing now is nothing different. It is the same thing during Akufo-Addo's time when the bill was presented or brought to Parliament. We had a lot of issues around it, and it's the same thing we are still experiencing now. The only difference is that the bill was brought to Parliament. They did everything, and then the former president didn't sign it. But when Mahama came, he said it should be reintroduced. So that is the difference. But all this, like the bill not in a parliament, like the parliamentarians are not doing their best, or the bill needs to be passed. All this thing are similar to what we experienced during the previous administration. So there is nothing new. Just as I said, the only difference is that during the previous administration, it was brought, they deliberated on it. The only thing was that the former president needed to sign, and he didn't. But when President Mahama came, he said it should be reintroduced. They did it. So we are also waiting whether it is going to be the same thing as the previous administration, or he is going to take a different move. So with the Speaker of Parliament, he said he is going to ensure that the bill will be passed. You shouldn't forget that this is a very tough decision he has taken, and we are going to hold him by his words. You cannot just tell us that you are going to ensure, because Speaker of Parliament has power. Say President Niwa, when the Vice President is not there, the next person that falls in line is the Speaker of Parliament. So the Speaker of Parliament he also have power. So if you are saying that you are going to ensure that the bill is being passed, don't forget that is a very great move you've taken, a very dire statement you've put in out there, and we will all be looking forward for you to ensure that that bill is being passed.
But comparing this parliament and also the previous one, would you say that they were all in agreement that the bill should be passed? Because it looks like the previous one, not everybody was actually for the motion that it should be passed.
That is why I said earlier on that it's the same thing we are experiencing. With the previous administration, there were instances where we saw the people who were supporting the bill, they brought their names. I don't know whether you saw that. Some George, what's the name? Oh, some George and the Reverend, Fojo, and then some members of parliament, they brought their name out. It was only one. Some members of parliament were in support of the bill, but they didn't buy into the idea that their name should be popped out there. So they wanted it to be confident, like, how will I even put it? It should be private. Okay, the identity is not supposed to be known, but they backed the bill. But we still had people, parliamentarians, who will not clearly say that they are not in support of the bill, but their action, when they speak on the issue, you can tell that they don't support the bill. So you can clearly tell. So for me, during the previous administration, it is the same thing. It is the same thing they are putting across.
You think it's the same path?
It is the same thing, and it is the same path the NDC is also, trading on. So,
but for the previous administration, we can say that the bill was actually passed, but the president didn't actually assent to it.
The bill was not passed, though.
It wasn't passed at all.
No, it was introduced.
It wasn't. The previous administration wasn't passed at all, and where we had instances where they said that the former president was actually is a humanitarian lawyer, and then due to that he couldn't sign the bill. But we've not seen such instances with this current administration, have we?
Yes, we wouldn't see that because it's not as if it's a fresh bill that is they are yet to introduce. They've already introduced it, so all the for lack of words, so let me just use chaos. All those chaos and stuff, we've seen it when the bill was first introduced, but now we are not going to really see that kind of heja because we've already experienced that during the first time when the bill was introduced. And then I said there some time ago that even the person that was the lead convener of the bill, which is Sam George, his visa was limited into traveling to some other countries because he was truly backing this bill. So we are not really going to see that, like when it was first introduced. It's like you getting to realize something for the first time, your reaction and everything. But then when you experience it for some time, you don't really feel the heat anymore. You see it to be something normal. But see, sometimes even the same people that are saying that they are going to pass the bill, within them they know that Andrew Abia. For this bill, I personally wouldn't be surprised if at the end of President Mahama's term it's not being passed into law.
Well, what can we say? Miss Gina, your thoughts. What do you think of Abon Bagben's assurance?
Okay, so before then, on February 28th, 2024, Parliament passed the bill.
The bill was passed.
It was passed, but the president at that time didn't assent to it, yes. And also to Bagben's, I don't want to use any word, but with his utterances, I would say Ghanaians needed it most at this time, because looking at what our President John Dramani Mahama said, most of us were disappointed. So we needed one genuine person to, I'm not saying he's not genuine, but someone we can probably rely on for him to come out and assure Ghanaians that, oh, definitely it would be signed. Now, according to him, it's what the bill was dead with the past administration, and now it's a new administration. It has already been brought up, and they will definitely debate on it, pass it, and it is left for the president to sign it if it is passed. So now the issue, I would say, is not in regards to passing the bill, but it's in regards to signing the bill to become a law. If the past administration, the parliament were able to pass it, and it was not signed, it means that definitely they can pass it again.
And cannot be signed.
And exactly. And CCC and now President John Dramani Mahama said, Speaker of Parliament together with the parliamentarians, they pass it. Now he's the one supposed to sign it. And according to his own words, he's saying that John Dramani Mahama has no problem signing it. So we'll wait and see. Definitely, with what he's saying, it wouldn't even be up to December. They'll definitely pass it. And then we would see if John Dramani Mahama will pass it or not. And if he doesn't pass it, that is where we will know what to do with the NDC government. Because the LGBTQ bill was one of the reasons most of Ghanaians did not vote for the NPP. And they voted and entrusted the power to the NDC. And we know Ghanaians to be swing voters. They can switch at any time. And this can be one of the major reasons where Ghanaians would switch. And also to some of the religious leaders, they've also come out to administer their displeasure. I think Reverend Intim Fodro is one of them. From the onset, he has been wanting to for the bill to be passed for a very long time. So I think, and also Mr. Lawrence Tete. During the weekend, he has been receiving backlash for apparently an utterance he made.
What did he say?
I think he said, we voted for the NDC. That was his utterance, but I've forgotten the full statement. And people were like, as a pastor, why are you saying that you voted for the NDC?
So he cannot say he voted. Is he not a citizen of the country?
He is, but when you are your friend is saying a public figure or it's just like code of conduct when it comes to public officials. In as much as he's not a public official,
it's a conduct.
I'm saying that it's just like
okay.
So as a public official or as a celebrity or as a parliamentarian, there are certain things you should not make public, or there are certain things you shouldn't say. So as a pastor, we are not saying that he can't either be for the MPP or for the NDC, but you need to be neutral. So I think it is what it is.
He needs to be neutral. We don't have any neutral person.
I know, right?
If somebody tells you that he or she is neutral, definitely, I'm going to say something that will go in favor of the other. But let's look at this parliament. Just as we saw Alban Bagman mention that this parliament is actually a different composition of. Is in a different composition as compared to the previous one. What can you say?
Come again.
So he said this parliament is actually different from the previous one that we had. And so does that mean that the previous parliamentarians, they were not in agreement of signing the bill? I'm trying to look at that particular statement and read it.
I'm not sure he's talking about the parliamentarians.
So he explained that the current parliament is different in composition and is better positioned to pass the bill when it reconvenes.
So this is based on the precedents. Because if he's talking about the parliamentarians, at the end of the day, if the parliamentarians were the issue, it wouldn't have been passed in the first place. But for it to be passed, it should tell us that they were never the problem. The problem was, the former president, because according to his status, he was a human rights lawyer. So he's not supposed to be passing such bills. And per their knowledge or per their intelligence, if you sign it, you are infringing on the rights of these people. So I would say with his words or with his statement, he's referring to the president, the past president.
And not the parliamentarians. Right. Let's proceed. On the issue of the OSP, I think since last week we've seen his issues also popping up with the Attorney General. OSP operates under standing delegation of AG. A private legal practitioner and member of the New Patriotic Party, Kwesi Quanten, says the Office of the Special Prosecutor is legally allowed to prosecute cases under what he describes as a standing delegation from the Attorney General. His comments come amid a legal challenge by the Attorney General's department at the Supreme Court, questioning whether the OSP has independent prosecutory powers. Mr. Quantin explained that under the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, the OSP operates on the authority of the Attorney General, meaning its powers are delegated, not independent. He referred to Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, which gives the Attorney General the power to prosecute, but also allows that authority to be delegated under the law. According to him, standing delegation means the Attorney General does not need to approve each case before the OSP can act. Instead, the authority is already granted through law, allowing the OSP to operate continuously. He warned that interpreting the law too strictly could create confusion and wrongly suggest that the OSP must seek permission for every prosecution. The debate follows a case at the Supreme Court, Adamate versus Attorney General, where the state argues that Parliament may have gone too far by giving the OSP powers that should constitutionally belong to the Attorney General. At the center of the argument is whether prosecutory powers can be delegated to one institution like the OSP or only to individuals. Ms. Debbie, I believe you've seen this case. This is Adamte versus Attorney General. And looking at things, it actually looks like the Attorney General is siding with Adamte to challenge the OSP, the prosecutory powers of the OSP.
Well, when you look at the OSP and then the Attorney General, I mean, they all deal with corruption cases and all that, but their roles varies. So we take the Attorney General, for instance, it's like a legal advisor to the President, Cabinet, and all that. Then when we take the OSP is so into investigation. I mean, bringing out people who are so into criminal cases and all that. But when you look very well in the OSP's case, it's like the OSP do not really have the mandate to prosecute someone. So what the OSP can do is that, well, maybe they brought a case. So let me take, for instance, this oral issue and all that. They can bring it on, but this is what is happening. The OSP's mandate is to ensure that he gets vivid evidence that shows that this person is guilty of this crime or whatever they are saying concerning this particular person. And then the issue is being handed over to the Attorney General to continue. But what is happening right now, I feel like it's as if the Attorney General want to, how will I even put it? It's as if you are overstepping your boundary. Shall I put it that way?
Okay, you're going to say it's like that.
Like, you have your office, okay? You know what is being done in your office. And then another person also have his office. But it looks as if you are now stretching your hand into someone's office. Or you're making it look as if the office of that person does not really have the sole mandate to perform or do what he or she is doing. So you are now intruding, right?
Right.
I've forgotten the word. What stands now is as if the Attorney General is now intruding in the affairs of the OSP. So in this case, I see no reason why the Attorney General should back this person against the OSP. On a normal base, I get it, but on a normal base, when you take these two offices, they look similar. So in a way, I feel like the Attorney General should rather back the OSP, not like say openly for everybody to see or that way. But in the case where you declare your stance for this particular person against the OSP, it sounds some way. What are you trying to communicate to the people out there? That the OSP does not really know his work, or maybe the OSP is not really following its core mandate. So what then are we supposed to do? So I feel like you making it open that you support this against the OSP, it means at the first place the OSP doesn't even need to exist. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's like the OSP doesn't even need to exist, because what is your essence if you exist and at the end of the day it feels as if whatever you are doing, like
They have to wait for orders from
like
somebody.
you get it. So for me, this whole issue is a whole lot.
And it's very confusing.
Very, very confusing.
Very
So
confusing.
we should merge them.
Merge them.
But did you also see
Is
the
that not a
protest?
duplication of?
Oh, duplication. No,
If we
no.
should merge them.
It's equally the same.
Because now it looks like, from what I have read, it actually sounds like the OSP has to wait for orders from the Attorney General before they can prosecute
yes.
somebody. But also reading from other articles, the OSP can also go ahead and do what he has to do without even waiting for
The
Attorney General
so
to
what is
delegate.
preventing him?
Right.
So it should tell you that there is more to this. I believe we are not getting the details of the story yet.
But all these years, the OSP has been in existence for
eight
years now,
years.
and they've been doing. So how come this issue is now coming up? Is it that they didn't use the right procedure in establishing this particular office,
This whole thing about this OSP issue,
or is it all simply boils down to the OSP's office being scrapped?
no, I feel like if this is what is the case, then I feel like the OSP is being controlled. The office of the OSP.
Then the OSP is not independent.
Yes, it's being controlled. So it means that I don't know whether you saw the press briefing, the meeting he had with the press, and then he said that his office is being threatened. So it should tell you that the OSP does not work independently. Although we see the office as an independent body, that is not it. It's being, interfered by talk people. Because tell me why we have the office of the special prosecutor, and as it stands now, we can't even point to one single case that we can say that the OSP dealt with it and then dealt with it very well. I don't know whether you also came across, I saw it this morning, that they are going to demonstrate against the removal of Attorney General.
Attorney General?
Yes.
How can the Attorney General be removed? I've not seen that.
I'll send you the flyer. I saw it this morning and I was wondering that there is a lot of cases on board and he's not working on it.
He's not working on it, so due to
that. Yeah, so they want him. And these are the grassroots of the NDC.
I see. But in order to get this whole issue clarified, let's look at the main role of the OSP. Ms. Regina, can you look into the main role of the Attorney General for me? So the main role of the Office of the Special Prosecutor in Ghana is to act as a specialized independent anti-corruption agency tasked with investigating, prosecuting and preventing corruption and corruption-related offenses. So this is from their website, and it says that the OSP has the authority to actually prosecute those that are found culpable. And now the key responsibilities of the functions include investigating and prosecution. The OSP investigates specific cases of corruptions involving public officers, politically exposed persons, and persons in the private sector. It prosecutes these offenders on its own authority, independent of the Attorney General. So the Office of the Special Prosecutor investigates into issues involving public officers, political exposed persons, and persons in the private sector, and it prosecutes this offenders on its own authority, independent of the Attorney General. Asset recovery and management. The OSP is empowered to recover the proceeds of corruption, including the confiscation of unexplained wealth and the freezing of assets. Corruption prevention. The OSP takes steps to prevent corruption through corruption risk assessment, policy formulation, and by publishing corruption-related data. Handling referrals. The OSP receives and acts on complaints from the public and referrals from institutions such as Parliament, the Auditor General, and the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Independent action established by the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017 at 959. The OSP is designed to function as an autonomous body to address inadequacies in the existing anti-corruption framework. So these are the main roles and functions of the OSP. Now let's hear from Ms. Regina regarding the Attorney General as well.
Okay, so with the main roles of the Attorney General, first off, he's the chief legal advisor to the government, and secondly, he's the chief prosecutor of the state. And with this, he has the power to start criminal cases. He has the power to take over cases started by others. So with the office of the special prosecutor, the Attorney General can take a case from him, and also he has the power to end it.
Okay.
And also he supervises state prosecutions and represents the state in legal matters. Yeah.
There's a difference.
How? With the two offices?
Because the OSP is looking at corruption-related cases, investigating private the private sector, and also political officers who are involved in criminal or corruption cases. But it looks like the Attorney General actually cut across.
The Attorney General has a final say on the prosecution and investigations made by the OSP.
So meaning that the OSP doesn't have a final say.
So it's like, yes, me gathering everything and then bringing it to you for you to finalize.
Then that body is not independent.
So that is what I'm saying, they should merge them. Because if I'm doing something, then at the end of the day I bring it to you, finalize it to ensure that, well, maybe this case is not necessary, let's just close docket on this particular case, or we should delve more into it. So when we merge us, it means we are now working together as one. There is no need to have different offices. That, for me, I see it as a waste of resources.
So it's going to be like a hierarchy. So the Attorney General will be the main boss, and then the OSP will be
it's under the Attorney General.
Because do you remember the case of Ken Oforiatta, where the Attorney General said that he hasn't received the dockets from the OSP? Well, there will be more interesting days ahead. And since this issue is actually in courts, definitely there will be a development on this particular case.
But it would have been nice if they matched them.
It would be nice if they matched them. That is not a duplication then, because you are working, I'm equally working
at the same office.
Well, but one person will have to give the go ahead that do this. If that is the case, then I think the OSP is not working independently, in my opinion. If you ask.
So now I can't do that. Since I for those time till now, I've been seeing it.
Let's look at our last news item. Minority welcomes fuel tax cuts, demands accountability for 1 cedi levy. The minority in Parliament has welcomed government's decision to reduce some fuel taxes, saying it will help ease the burden on Ghanaians. The move comes as fuel prices rise globally due to tensions in the Middle East, with government announcing that the measure would last for about 4 weeks before a review. Speaking on the issue, Deputy Ranking Member on Parliament's Energy Committee, Collins Mensah, described the decision as timely, although he noted that details of which taxes have been reduced are still unclear. Whilst supporting the intervention, the minority is now demanding accountability for the 1 cedi fuel levy, which was introduced to support the energy sector. According to Mr. Mensah, the law requires government to report to Parliament on how much money has been collected from the levy and how it has been used, but this has not been yet done. He says Parliament and the public deserve clarity on the funds, raising concerns about transparency and accountability. So as Mr. B mentioned earlier, government has actually considered reviewing some fuel taxes, but we are not clear as to which particular taxes are being reviewed or which particular taxes are being scrapped. And in the midst of all these, the minority have welcomed the decision by the government, but are also asking for accountability. They're asking the government, come and account to us the 1 cedi levy you collected from the people. What was those monies used for? do unto others what you want others to do unto you. As if they did it. Miss Debbie.
The only thing that came in mind, I was like, the minority. Yeah, sick. Seriously, because you brought e-levy. You didn't account to us. And they were even stating the law. It means the law is it's mandatory for you to tell us what exactly you use the money for. Because don't forget, it's the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
But you didn't account to us. Even when we pleaded, you ended up doing what? Pumping champagne. And also cutting cake and then eating it on top of our grievances. So why then do you sit back and then you're mounting pressure on the current administration? And as you said, do unto others what you want others to do unto you. You don't do to others what you feel like. You don't want them to do same to you, but you want to do it to people. So now when that is the same question you should be asking yourself. Now we all know that this current administration came on in government. Is it government or governance? Same in Ukraine. Not quite long, and then they brought the 1D levy. Are they trying to say that they are not seeing the impact of the D levy after they've left a debt? So what are we using to clear those debts off? No one is saying that they won't come and account to us how much we've gotten so far and what they've used it for. And I'm convinced that when they come out to tell us the taxes they are going to scrap, they also tell us the amount of money they've accumulated from the 1D levy. They will not just come and tell us that they are scrapping this taxes, and then they will also tell us if they're not going to scrap the 1D levy, they will tell us the reason why they're not going to scrap that 1D levy. They will tell us the reason why they will maintain it and they'll scrap other levies as well. So you now coming to say that they should account, it's as if they've been in government for 9 years and they've not. We don't know what they've used that particular 1CD levy for. So I feel like the MPP right now, I don't know what is wrong with them. I don't know whether they need spiritual backing or spiritual deliverance or physical deliverance. I don't know which is which. But see, they will account, okay? The fact that you didn't do it doesn't mean that somebody will also walk in your steps.
Yeah.
They are different. We have different people. So the fact that you are not so conscious of yourself, you are lazy and all that, doesn't mean that somebody is also like that. So they should give us a break. That is all I can say.
Miss Regina, the government hasn't accounted to us as to how much they had and what they used the money for. But at least we've been informed that they paid 1.47 is a billion or million Ghana cedis to pay some of the debt in the energy sector. Would you say that alone is satisfying, or we should go a step further to ask for accountability?
Okay, so I was trying to get the correct figure, but the only thing I'm getting is the money collected so far as of last year. That was 2.1 billion Ghana cedis, and when it was introduced. And also this levy is expected to generate about 5 to 5.7 billion Ghana cedis every month, but we are owing about 3.7 billion dollars
In the energy sector.
Yes.
Or dollars.
And the finance minister cleared 1.47
billion
Ghana cedis.
So we are left with something like.
We are left with Bubruja.
Because no one can even calculate it because it's a lot.
Because if we are owing, because what we are generating is in Ghana cedis,
and what
we are owing is in dollars.
Is in dollars.
Okay.
That should tell you that we have a long way to go.
Exactly.
We have a long way to go.
Transparency builds public trust, no doubt. It's very important that the government comes to us and explain to us what the money was used for. But we are not blind people. We know what the money was used for. It was used to settle our energy debt, and as it stands now, we are still owing. Yesterday I experienced doomso. I don't know if you experienced some. I experienced doomso in my area. I had to sleep without lights.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sorry.
And the heat, imagine the heat. It's becoming too much. Oh, I said,
They went to the moon.
hey, I cry. Some space.
The moon is under the sun. So
The sun there is very. It will be difficult for them to get closer to it.
Die.
Yeah.
They'll die. They'll die.
But they should go there and at least go and cover the sun.
You go there and go and cover it.
Because lately the heat
The
there.
heat is too much.
Whatever they used to cover the sun, the best. So, as I was saying, we know what the money was used for, but it would be official. It would be nice for them to come out and explain, to be transparent with the public. They shouldn't be like the NPP. They shouldn't follow in the footsteps of the NPP. As it stands now, when you ask any of the parliamentarians of the NPP, what was the e-levy used for? What was the COVID levy used for? They'll have nothing to say. With the COVID levy, I didn't even know why they were taking it, because I think money was even allocated for that.
What?
And the COVID, vaccination.
It was even free.
It was free, but they allocated money.
Yeah.
They gave it to the government free. I think it was
But
from
still, money was allocated.
I think
Okay.
the John and John.
Johnson.
Is it John and John or Johnson?
Johnson. I heard
We
Johnson.
paid for it, and I know Sikadie Bemo in the former health
Me,
minister.
I was very happy I did not take that vaccine.
Me said,
Because anyone who takes it is complaining.
I'll take zinc and do
And do what?
and do the inhaling with the neem
I know,
tree.
right?
Yeah.
And it even got to a point where they said you can't even access some of the official institutions if you don't have the COVID card. They even said, who said if you are traveling, you don't have the COVID tax, you can't. Oh, the COVID tax, COVID card, you can't travel. These people literally infused fear into us.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as I'm saying, none of them can account for the money from the e-levy. They said the e-levy would create jobs. It did not create any
11
jobs.
million jobs.
And mind you, that e-levy was even generating more money than this energy bill we are paying. Because look at the number of people sending money day in and there. No matter the amount you send, on better. If you like, send it 200,000 times, or more better. So with the government, they should listen to the MPP. At least we know that our current administration, they are listening people. They listen to the people. Our president is also a listening man.
Yeah.
He would not make sure, or he wouldn't behave in a way where it wouldn't go in favor of the people.
But
So-
let's be sincere, they will account.
Oh, they'll definitely
Yeah,
account.
they
They will
will.
do it.
They will.
And as he said, there's no way they'll come because they are still deliberating on the taxes they need to take
They
off.
need to
So
take
there's no way they'll come out
Yeah.
just give us rock ball like that.
Yeah.
They'll
And I
definitely.
think the e-levy we started paying in 2022, right?
Yeah.
So 2023, 24, 25, 20. Wait, 2022. Should I?
To
am I starting from
2024.
2022 or I'm
Yeah,
starting
start from
2022,
2022.
23, 24.
25
25.
crack.
25,
Yeah.
5
So,
years.
No,
20
it's 4
okay,
years.
yes.
For the
yes.
2025, it was just a short.
So we should
yeah.
have
Yeah,
3.5 years.
2025 we paid.
We
That
still
is not
paid.
small money.
It's
Oh.
You
not.
get it, and they've not accounted to us why.
We even
So
paid. We
if
paid
this
for 4
this
years.
one CD levy has generated 2.1 billion Ghana
Within-
cedis.
Yes, just
you can
imagine.
imagine because every Ghanaian is using digital cash. Every Ghanaian, even if you send 50 cedis, e-levy, they'll take e-levy from you. That's so sad.
Sometimes I wish God would just give me the power to walk in his shoes for a second.
That's why he's God. Thank you so much for joining us on the news review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 1873. the Colfax Massacre, sometimes referred to as the Colfax Riot, occurred on Easter Sunday, April 13th, 1873, in Colfax, Louisiana, the parish seat of Grant Parish. An estimated 62 to 153 black men were murdered while surrendering to a mob of former Confederate soldiers and members of the Ku Klux Klan. 1360. Hailstorm kills 1,000 English troops in France. A violent freak hailstorm struck King Edward III's English army near Chartres, France, during the 100 Years' War, killing an estimated 1,000 soldiers and 6,000 horses, known as Black Monday. The devastating storm caused severe losses and prompted King Edward III to pursue peace, leading to the Treaty of Brittany. 1941, Japan and USSR signed Non-Aggression Pact by Foreign Minister Vyacheslav Molotov and Foreign Minister Yushuk Matroka in Moscow, ensured peace between the USSR and Japan for 5 years. This agreement secured Japan's northern border and allowed the Soviets to focus on the German threats. Moving to some few global observances. Plant Appreciation Day. To honor the environmental, health, and aesthetic benefits of plants, it encourages bringing greenery indoors, gardening, and appreciating nature to boost mood, reduce stress, and improve air quality. So today is a day for us to appreciate plants, and also it's a call for us to at least plant one tree, probably in a month, years. Lastly, functional neurological disorder. It is a common condition where the brain-body communication, that is software, glitches, causing real involuntary symptoms like weakness, tremor, or seizures despite normal brain structure. It lies at the intersection of neurology and psychiatry, often treated with multidisciplinary rehabilitation. So today is a day for us to observe this day and also treat everyone fairly. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Ms. Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear of favor. Government is set to meet key stakeholders in Ghana's sachet water industry in April 8 following concerns over planned increase in the price of sachet water. The engagement will bring together the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, the National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers, as part of effort to better understand industry challenges and agree on sustainable way forward. The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has in the meantime indicated that sachet water price will remain unchanged after the proposed hike, initially scheduled to take effect from April 6th, was put on hold. The move is expected to provide temporary relief for consumers while discussions continue. So somewhere along the line, I think the first week, we are still in the second week in April, yes. So first week, there were instances where it was all round, circulating on social media that there will be an increase in the price of sachet water. So it will start from the manufacturers, the bag of water will be increased. And then when it's happening like that, automatically we know that it's going to affect the chain. We have the retailers as well. They go to buy it and then they sell it with the consumer. So the retailer now is I see them as a mediator between the consumer and the producers, because they go for it and they sell it to us. And so after this directive was being made, we saw instances where people were complaining that, oh no, increasing the price of pure water or sachet water, that is a whole lot. Okay, so how are they going to sell it? Because as it stands now, traders will not even take 20 pesos. So we know that definitely it's going to be like 1 CD, or they are going to sell maybe 3 for 2 cedis or so. But, well, I would say that we have a government that is a listening government. And so the Trade and Agri Minister, together with the right authorities, met on 8th April. And then after the meeting, they said, for now, they are halting the increase of the price of sachet water till further notice. And so they are going to pay much attention to local manufacturers and all that. I mean, when the materials that is being imported here, they are going to find a different alternative to ensure if we can internally get some here without it being imported. Now, you will be surprised to know that these retailers have increased the price of pure water. On Saturday, I went to buy water. And then the woman told me that, I said, pure water is 70%. Some say, like how? Where they go to pick it in bulk, they've increased it. And so they'll have to, and I was like, So when she said that, I was kind of confused. So I said, they gave a directive, but it was halted. So why then will you increase the price? And she said, because where they are taking the water from, or the producers who sell the water to them, the bag of water to them, have increased it. And so they also need to increase it because they don't want to run at loss. And I was like, oh, maybe that is at straw, 70% then I get the money to her. So I was thinking that maybe it's just something. Then yesterday, I was in a vehicle and then a man bought water. And the change he was supposed to receive, the lady gave a lesser than what he was supposed to take. And the man was like, what's happening? Was he a tomb? The directive was that it was supposed to be increased. The price of water was supposed to be increased. But because of 1 or 2 things, it has been halted until further notice. So where did they get that directive from? And now, based on their own authority, they've increased pure water. So as I'm talking to you now, pure water is no longer sold at 50 pesos. They've increased the price. Meanwhile, the directive is that don't increase it yet. We are still working on it. Looking at this whole issue, I wouldn't be fair if I blame these retailers, because what they said was that when they go to buy the water, the bag of water to sell to we the consumers, they've increased it. But these same people met with leaders. And then they sat down on this particular issue. They deliberated on it. And they realized that its effect on the consumer will be more. After all, they know very, very well that we cannot do without water. Even if water is being sold at 3 cedis, we will still buy. But its negative aspect is that when the price increases, automatically it's going to affect everything. Because if the driver is buying the water as 3 cedis, then you also be like, well, let me also increase transport fare. They'll increase it. And then it continues like that. And we, the consumer, are going to suffer more. So your leaders have met with, the great minister, the water packaging authorities. They've met with them, the necessary authorities, the Ghana Plastic Manufacturing Association, the National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers, together with the Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness. They met and they spoke. So what is it? Is it that the right info was not communicated to these people, or it's intentional, it's deliberate. Because tell me why a directive will be given and then you decide to do whatever you want to do. And don't add this, I'll add it. And sometimes I feel like we make the system so hard for us to live in. We are our own enemy, oh, seriously. We are our own enemy. Like, you just tell me, does it really make sense when I come to buy something from you and I give you 20 pesos and you tell me that you don't take 20 pesos? I say, scan water. They will take, they are taking. They will take it. And I remember that the governor of the Bank of Ghana said, the 20 pesos is still our money. We are spending it. There's not been any rule that we are no longer spending 20 pesos. So, as a trader, you have no right to tell me that you are not taking 20 pesos. But and that is because we just put the law out there and we do not even enforce it. We don't even have task force who goes around to ensure that these people are following the right thing, the right steps. They are doing as they are being mandated to do. No. And that is why I don't really feel so bad when I hear people say that Ghana is a lawless country. In a way, they are right. In a way, they are right. Ghana is a lawless country because we have the laws. The laws are not working. And even if the laws are working, the law is in favor of some class of people or some group of people. The law doesn't favor everybody. The law states that when you do this, this is the penalty or this is the punishment. So why is it that when a class of people do the same thing, they're not law necessary? But then when another group of people does the same thing, law no new bedi. The laws are not working. They are not. Please. If authorities are not aware, please, this is what is going on. They've increased it. They've started taking it. If something is not being done, these people, they are not going to stop. Because their complaint is that where they buy the water from, they've increased it. So if a bag of water was 10 cedis, and first, when they said they are going to increase the sachet of water, they said that the bag of water that was being sold at 10 cedis will be sold at 15 cedis. And then they came back, they were like, no, they're not going to do it like that again. So it means that some of these manufacturers are selling the bag of water to these retailers at 15 cedis. Abra Yakacham will say, maintain the former price. So what's wrong? We need to take action and ensure that the right thing is being done. Because they said don't increase it. You've increased it. The authority. Like you have the audacity to increase it. And they have every excuse to back whatever they are doing. So please, we are pleading. If there will be a task force or people will be assigned to go around and ensure that the right thing is being done, please, it should be so. Because it's not helping. And and also day. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that grill. They've increased water prices. Some people have. Well, yesterday, someone I wanted to buy water at Pukwase. Then a woman said it was it 70 pesos, me and 2 cedis. And the woman at my back said she will not buy it. And I also told her I will not buy. Thank you so much for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Joint Association of Port Transport Union threatened a 4-day sit-down strike over new Ghana Shippers Authority directives. Ministry of Communication charges MTN and other telecommunication officers to boost network quality for better customer experience. Prajia riders in Efidiase decry alleged police harassment. Also coming up, to eradicate poverty, chiefs roll out nationwide income strategy to transform communities. Religious Affairs Minister urges members of parliament to set up constituency officers for better dialogue. These and many more coming up your way shortly. The Joint Association of Port Transport Union has threatened a 4-day nationwide sit-down strike from April 14th to 17th in protest of new directives issued by the Ghana Shippers Authority. The association says the latest directives introduce additional fees and operational changes that would disrupt port transport operations and raise the cost of doing business. The Joint Association of Port Transport Union argues the measures were rolled out without adequate stakeholder consultation. The threat comes days after the Ghana Shippers Authority partnered with the Joint Association of Port Transport Union to sensitize haulage drivers in Takoradi, Kumasi and Tem on the upcoming ECOWAS Supplementary Act on Axle Load Control aimed at protecting road infrastructure and easing border delays.
From 14th of this month, a sit-down strike up to 17th. But in case Abba now Baba catch a DNA understanding Benjamin, you better withdraws sit-down strike because one support we port to what the Eboa government to the engineer 1 minute 1 year pesa. But let me say some people don't know, but we in the whole sector we know when the ship come, say ship na baha bejina ha yen fa ne manu problems ma port no and the charges be beba and the importer be omu beboka enti yen pesa ye prepare anytime never buy na ye fa ko but problems there omu di sheshe mbranu e ma yen timi ye jimanu enti se sia ye any port ye ni asem because enye omu na CSA no we my but adie die be effect omu because they say we dey where yes yellow yes sit down strike from 14th to 17th and still nobody has come to say anything to us. What I say, but a do then at the end one who say obi na fast am no buy from Shippers Council and GIZ. We don't know that companies almost every Germany and Ghana Road and Highways omuna fast am no buy port of ye meeting no report no but where say see ye juma ye report port na incur that debt yen pesa because port no omo yes aboni who they will find assembly by and say enfa wo na e be foko the step government income yɛn pesa enti yɛsra aban wɔn bra yɛpɛ no yɛdɔn Ghana no wɔn bra na yɛntena ase yɛn hwɛ jima ne ɛyɛ jima yɛn na yɛfa na mano ko bibia yɛn na yɛ truck pushers no wɔn fa wɔn bra ha na bi sɛ yɛbɛyɛ deɛ yɛbɛka kyerɛ no yɛn pɛ sɛ obi kɔkɔ yɛ basabasa ana wɔnyɛ deɛ ɛban no bɛkɔ rough yɛn pɛ sa yɛpɛ sɛ aban no biribi a wɔpɛ no ɛnkɔ kama but
Minister for Communication, Digitalization and Innovation, Samonate George, has charged MTN Ghana and other mobile network operators to urgently improve service quality and enhancing customer satisfaction. At a high-level meeting with chief executive officers and technical teams from MTN, Telecel and Airtel Tigo, the minister issued a stern directive demanding substantial network improvement. He warned that failure to meet standards will attract heavy financial penalties, with 40% of fine going directly to affected consumers as bonus data. The ultimatum follows National Communication Authority performance audit across 48 localities that assess 3G coverage, call setup time, mean opinion score for call quality, and 3G data throughput. The minister has also approved technology neutrality for MTN Ghana and authorized the National Communication Authority to provide additional spectrum to MTN and Telecel in helping improved performance.
One of the biggest challenges I have heard from people is about the network challenge. We decided to take a policy decision to drop the KPI bar. So if previously they could pass the KPIs by having 3% call failure, now we've dropped it to 1%, which means that they need to invest more. We've raised the marking scheme. Because if they could pass with 97%, now they can only pass with 99%. Now, in response to that policy directive, MTN announced 500 new cell sites for this year. Now, the beauty of this is that we will see the effect in a few months. It's not instant. Because when you announce new cell sites, what it means is you now have to acquire the sites and then place the order for the radio devices to then come in before you install, and then we begin to see. So it will take some time, in a couple of months. But what this means for us is that we're going to see an improvement in the network. Telecel is not in the room, but Telecel has also announced 350 new cell sites. Now, I met with the group CEO of MTN at the Mobile World Conference, and I said to him, "You are an SMP. Telecel is doing 350. You've announced 500. Thank you, but I want more." And credit to MTN Group, approval was given for 300 more sites. So MTN is doing 800 sites this year. 800 sites this year. Now, to put that in perspective, in 2016, MTN did a total of 134 sites. 2017, 352 sites. 2018, 300 sites. 2019, 352 sites. 2020, 200 sites. 2021, 120 sites. 2022, 343 sites. 2023, 350 sites. 2024, 30 sites. 2025, 50 sites. In 2026, 800 sites. That should explain to you the level of investment that's going into the
Commercial tricycle operators in Efidiasi, a suburb of Koforidua in the eastern region, says they are facing persistent harassment and extortion by police officers, a situation they claim is hurting their daily earning. According to the operators, failure to pay bribes results in delay or being sent to the police station. while municipal authorities argue that measures are needed to reduce congestion and improve safety. The riders are calling on the Eastern Regional Police Command and municipal authorities to investigate the alleged extortion and create a fair system that balances traffic management with the right to earn a living.
The way our drivers need to be so calm. Oh, the way I'm driving, I'm a police from here. So any from passengers, I'm so I'm calm. Go about charging, no one to quite Casabi.
How familiar traffic, the traffic, time net that's no. And set it's a traffic in the more. So, and I want traffic in as much as I ramp go on. The traffic, yeah, you're saying here ramp. It's in any of my face traffic in here, traffic. Police funny high. Police funny high. All lines are scratched. Hard drain.
Challenges there, baby. Everyone bet me passengers and arguments. Everyone saw the police bet show. Municipal for crowd. I'm hard doing crossing police for.
They have been dim brass over there. Me say my two pragana to me. Minister of the media, my hard me nadia police there. Me dim brass of is a youth new baby. A two praga. A BA university. A BA technical school. A Jumani ho. Now I'm about 12 years. Sabi ade anum no bone anasa ye aye nyuma hu hia no ana omo ankasa akototo mo pragia ana omo de adwuma kakra pragia no ye kosoro ba forma eni yen they become part of us ye ni omo na betu eti aban se aban ye nhihye na ye hwese na betu streamline no na me nso me pragia fo mo nu jabe no fa no me se omo kom hu mom no munye executives ni wia na ya hwe niema eso mo yo mo license no mo ne niema no na as MP no maso masin no mo so mo niema ese omunya to drive the pragiano no munya nya mo niema kakra send the BBC at least when you say was satisfy regulations no.
Traditional leaders in Zongo communities are spearheading a nationwide income strategy aimed at eradicating poverty and raising living standards in over 3,000 historically deprived settlements. The initiative, championed by the National Council of Zongo Chiefs, seeks to complement state policies by creating sustainable livelihoods through self-development and targeted economic interventions. According to the Zongo Chiefs of Ebuakwa, Alhaji Abubakar Omar, the goal is to build a strong, just community by promoting collective good and to ensure Zongo citizens fully enjoy their constitutional rights.
Principal problem identified for Zongo is that there's a lot of ignorance and then poverty. How can we fight this? So the entire program is all about the chiefs who are the leaders of the community, all stakeholders coming together with the leaders and coming together to champion a cause of eradicating poverty and ignorance in the Zongo community. What we're seeking to do is that we want to build what is called WACF. WACF simply means a project that is income generating in every region of the country, in all the 16 regions. So a WACF project could come in the form of a hotel facility, an agricultural project, any income generating activity that the region deems fit.
7 million Muslim people in Ghana. Let's take 4 million. Every month, everybody should contribute 1 Ghana city. 1 Ghana city will give us 4 million Ghana cities. This will give us a lot of money. There is nothing that we want to do in this country that we can't do.
Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Ahmed Ibrahim has called on members of parliament to establish fully functional offices in their constituencies to strengthen grassroots engagement and improve dialogue with traditional leaders. Speaking at the Kaswa Traditional Leaders and Stakeholders Forum, the minister said proper constituency officers are critical for effective communication between members of parliament and metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies. He noted that the recent merger of the Ministry of Local Government with the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs was a strategic reform to deepen synergy between indigenous governance system and modern administrative structures. He stressed that functional officers would enhance data flow, facilitate joint development projects led by chiefs and assemblies, and also improve public service delivery at the grassroots.
That every MP must get an office in his constituency. If you go to every district, there's a district court. If you go to every district, there's a district chief executive. So the executive is represented by the DCE in the constituency. The judiciary is represented in the constituency by the district court. But who represents parliament? If you want parliament or to fill parliament in your constituency, who do you go to? So that has been his dream. That let's also decentralize parliament. It doesn't mean 275 MPs are going to be sitting in the two. No. But the question is, what is parliament's role? Assuming you want a law to be made, how do you go to your MP? How do you make a proposal to the MP? Where do you locate the MP? How do you make suggestions to the MP? If the MP doesn't have an office in your constituency, do you have to come to Accra, to Parliament House? Do you go to the MP's office in Parliament House? Do you keep your proposal in your mind waiting for the MP to come? And what if he or he doesn't come? That is what the dream of the Right Honourable Speaker, who has been in Parliament, the greatest legislator in Ghana's history. The whole Ghana, from Kwesi Broni pre-colonial time to date, nobody has been able to break his record. And therefore, on the continental front, she is held high. And Ghana is highly respected through him. So this dream of his, decentralizing parliament, sending parliament closer to the people. So if a chief wants to make a law to be made, he just write a proposal and bring it here. My MP, Honorable Nakoyo, I think child abuse has been a serious canker. Parliament must make a law against child abuse. And this is my proposal. You just come here and give it to her. She will then take it to Parliament. Go and say, Right Honourable Speaker, this is what my constituents are saying.
The Director of Investigations at National Security, Al-Hassan Osman, has issued a stern warning that electoral violence leading to loss of lives will no longer be tolerated. Also speaking at the Kaswa Traditional Leaders and Stakeholders Forum, he said the era of impunity for politically motivated violence is over, and that security agencies will take a zero-tolerance approach to armed individuals at polling stations and collation centers. Traditional leaders at the forum pledge to intensify community sensitization ahead of the upcoming electoral exercises.
Under President John Dramani Mahama, won't tolerate political violence, which has historically plagued Kaswa during elections and resulted in some cases loss of life. Unauthorized persons who carry arms during elections will not be tolerated, and culprits will be brought to justice. National security and other security agencies will not allow election-related violence orchestrated by selfish individuals to harm the citizens of this community. This warning applies to both internal party elections and general elections.
In business, the International Monetary Fund has signaled that central banks may be forced to resume interest rate hikes if inflation surges as global risk intensify ahead of the IMF World Bank Spring Meeting 2026, which begins today. The warning comes as the escalating Middle East conflict threatens to trigger a fresh wave of inflation through energy supply disruptions, raising the likelihood of tighter monetary policy globally, including in economies like Ghana. Speaking ahead of the meeting, IMF Managing Director cautioned that policymakers are facing a classic supply shock that could quickly spiral if not managed carefully. She stressed that while central banks may initially hold, they must be ready to act decisively if inflation expectations begin to drift. The IMF stance underscores the delicate balancing act of facing policymakers containing inflation without derailing growth as markets increase in price and tighter financial conditions globally. To sports, Ghana football has been thrown into mourning following the death of Dominic Frimpong, a player of Berkum Chelsea who succumbed to gunshot wounds sustained during a robbery attack on the team's bus. The incident occurred along the Gwasu Bibiani Road in the Ahafo region when armed men reportedly blocked the road and opened fire on the team vehicle. Players and officials were forced to flee into nearby bushes to seek safety. The club has confirmed that Frimpong suffered critical gunshot wounds to the head and was rushed to the Bibiani Government Hospital where he received emergency treatment. He was being prepared for transfer to a higher level facility when he passed on. The player joined Berkum Chelsea on loan from Aduana FC in January, and a deal set to run until the end of 2026. Frimpong had been one of the emerging talent in the squad, making 13 league appearances and scoring 2 goals during the current campaign. His performance had marked him out as a promising figure for the club before his ultimately death. The incident has sent shockwaves through the Ghanaian football community, raising serious concern about the safety of teams traveling across the country. Authorities are expected to intensify investigations into the attack. In showbiz, Burna Boy's mother has reacted to her son's cursing and profane languages using her name during a live stream. The singer used the curse words whilst denying beating DJ Tonis with his crew members. Wizkid had in a post on Twitter accused Burna Boy and his 10-man team of beating the DJ in Lagos nightclub over the failure to play his music, denying the allegation during a live stream with Burna Boy sweared on her mother's life of being innocent from the allegation. Following Burna Boy's claim, a clear video of the incident capturing him and his team kicking DJ Tennis on the floor went viral on social media, contradicting his claim. Reacting to the development, the singer's mother resorted to a prayer warrior. A viral video online captured her being surrounded by her son's crew members as they pray against every evil declaration and spirit. On global update, court in Eswatini has ruled that the first 5 migrants the Trump administration sent to the African kingdom have right to a lawyer after they were denied legal representation on their transfer from the United States to the Swazi jail in July. The court rejected government argument that the detainees had not specifically requested human rights lawyer Sibwasiso to represent them. There can be no real harm in granting the respondent access to the detainees. The 3 judges ruled in decision reviewed by Reuters. The detainees are among at least 19 third country migrants from various countries in Africa, Asia, and America. that Trump's administration deported to Eswatini as part of its crackdown on immigration. Other countries have also hosted migrants deported from the United States. The judgment also applies to the first 5 arrivals, as the challenge was first launched on their behalf, although it could set a precedent for others. Eswatini, an absolute monarchy ruled by King Maswati III, has released only 2 of the detainees, a Jamaican man last year and a Cambodian last month. Lawyers in Eswatini and the United States have challenged the legality of $5.1 million deal between the two countries, which has resulted in deportees being incarcerated in a southern African nation, despite having served sentences for crimes committed on United States soil. The High Court last month threw out a case filed by a local human rights lawyer that challenged the deal itself, though the lawyer has appealed. And that's it on the morning news update. Do to log on to all streaming platforms at Ghana Talks Radio for more news stories. I am Deborah Adolso. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrochimemu, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be good among Ghana Muha. It is a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry, more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moon at the dia and may come for GTR sounds at the Emao. Your live band in so our tones at the frame, ye beat me ababeboa. Ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi anse obefre empenifo was 0546960510 GTR sounds emuode angaza.
Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station. You can carry along wherever you go. All you need to do is just go to Play Store and download the app, Ghana Talks Radio, and you're good to go. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Simply tap on it, and you can join in the conversation. Send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the Breakfast Show. Yes, sitting right here in the studios with me is my beautiful ladies, Miss Tabia Dawson and Miss Regina Bless, and we'll be looking at some few interesting news headlines before we delve into the main second segment of the show with our guest. Good morning to you, ladies, and you're welcome.
Good morning.
Miss Debbie, have you had breakfast yet?
Not yet, oh.
But soon.
Yeah.
Obviously. For this, I told you to stop eating.
That is why I didn't eat.
Miss Regina.
I will.
Right. Let's look at a few news headlines, and this is quite interesting. Government loses over 600 million Ghana cedis in taxes from unaccounted petroleum product. Government loses over 600 million Ghana cedis in taxes from unaccounted petroleum product. And Miss Debbie was like, "Hey, na taxes so yes, aboka." Yes, yeah, just tax aboka. You don't know what's happening. Let's dive into it. Government lost more than 600 million Ghana cedis in tax revenue in 2025 due to 199 million liters of unaccounted petroleum product, according to the 2025 Petroleum Product Analysis Report cited by Joy Business. The lost revenue was expected to accrue to the state through taxes, levies, and other regulatory charges on petroleum products imported into the country, but was not properly accounted for. According to the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, the unaccounted volumes represent 2.1% of the country's total petroleum supply for the year. The report provides a detailed examination of Ghana's petroleum products supply and consumption trends from January to December 2025, with a comparative analysis of 2024. It also highlights national and regional volumes, offering insights critical for market penetration and policy formulation. Import and export of petroleum products in 2025. Import of petroleum products increased by 36.7% to 8.71 billion liters, up from 6.23 billion liters in 2024. This growth was driven largely by strong commercial and domestic demand. Uncovering the lost. According to the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, the estimates were driven from a reconciliation analysis of Ghana's national petroleum stock. The analysis revealed that 199 million liters of petroleum products were unaccounted for, and the report largely attributes this to illegal activities within the sector, despite ongoing automation and regulatory interventions. Recommendation by Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. The Chamber is calling for strict protocols governing the export of petroleum products to neighboring countries to prevent diversion and tax evasion. This includes developing a comprehensive export manual. It's also proposing that export permits should be backed by confirmed letters of credit from international banks or verified payment through the Bank of Ghana. Additionally, the Chamber is urging the National Petroleum Authority and other stakeholders to develop guidelines to regulate transfers of refined products from refinery tanks to commercial storage facilities. It further recommends that all modular refineries be integrated into the ERDMS and ICUMS system to track inflows, production, and outflows. It also suggests deploying a real-time automatic tank gauging tracking system across all depot and refineries to encourage or enhance transparency and product movement. And these findings were contained in a 2025 Petroleum Product Analysis Report, which provides a comprehensive overview of Ghana's petroleum sector performance and emerging risks. So that it is. We are losing 600 million in petroleum products, and all these monies are gone unaccounted for. As to how they happen, is a lot. Miss Debbie, your thoughts? Taxes so yeah, Bokao. We have a long way to go as a country.
Yeah, we do. And I don't even know what to say, but we still have to say something. So it means we have a lot of taxes that we pay on our petroleum, right? Is it petrol or petroleum? Which one?
Petroleum.
Yes, we have a lot of taxes that we pay on that. So then it means that when we are paying about 5 or 10 taxes on petroleum, each tax and what we are supposed to get, like the revenue that is supposed to be generated, say in a month from each tax. Now imagine we are generating a very huge sum of money from each of these taxes, and then what is stated here is that they cannot even account for the revenues that have been generated from the taxes. Then what is the use of the taxes? Where is the money? Into whose pocket is the taxes? Because tell me why we have taxes on petroleum. The more reason why we have taxes is because we want to use those money to solve challenges in the in that particular sector. The energy sector. So if we are running at loss, then it means we have a lot of work to do. And this sector is not run by robots. It's run by humans who are being appointed to lead that particular sector. So what is going on? And I said this is from 2025. If this is from 2025, then it means that it is currently with this administration. Are you getting what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get you.
President Muhammad took over from 2025, and then per what we are reading, they said they noticed this from 2025 till now. So it means that it is a debt generated from 2025 till now.
It's not really. Would you say it's a debt?
But that is what they've stated.
It's actually a loss to the government.
Revenue in 2025 due to 199 million liters of uncounted petroleum.
So it's taxes. So they are taxes, but not a debt.
Sorry, they are taxes, but we cannot account for those taxes. And those taxes, I know that those taxes were not being imposed by the current administration. It's a tax that is there for long. Or you're still not getting what I'm saying?
Miss,
it's there for long because even during the past administration,
not taxes,
you still have to pay those
yes,
taxes.
But what they are saying is that they got to realize this from 2025.
So that the people do not pay the taxes. They are not paying the taxes.
So it's not the
taxes that they are not paying. That's what they are talking about.
Is it that the taxes that they are not paying, or they are paying the taxes, but they cannot?
They are not paying the taxes.
They are not paying the taxes.
And their fuels are also being used.
You get it. So they
otherwise, they are smuggling the fuels, or they are diverting the fuels to avoid paying the taxes.
Do you get it?
I'm trying to.
Oh, sorry. So it's not a debt, because if it is a debt, that means that we have to go back and go and pay for it. But this rather is a revenue that is being lost.
Yeah, so
you get it.
Okay. So it means they are not paying. That is why we are running at loss. So me, I was thinking that we are paying it and we cannot account for the money.
No, the petroleum products are not accounted for.
Oh, okay.
You get it.
Okay.
So the money is that is supposed to go to the government. Now that money, we don't even know where those monies are going to, because they are not accounted for.
But I'm not sure we are not paying the taxes. I'm sure the taxes are being paid, but the people who are in charge of those taxes to ensure that the taxes get to it right. You can say
the tax there, they are not paying.
It's right, honest. They are not. No, we are paying. So the one.
No, they are talking about unaccounted fuel. So I don't know the last time I made an example of a video we saw in Nigeria where they were bringing in Jeep here.
Yeah.
That are cars. So when you are bringing in cars, it needs to go through the ports, and when it goes through the port, you need to pay taxes on those cars.
Yeah, so port duties.
So because they don't want to pay the taxes on that, they use another illegal route to make sure that they bring the cars into the country.
Into the country.
So that is the same thing in regards to the
So that means
fuel.
that those taxes that they are supposed to pay, they are not being paid.
They are not.
So the government is losing money.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not a debt to the government, but it's rather a loss to the government.
Because that money can be used to expand infrastructures, can be used to fix the roads.
Do you get it now? Yes. So that means that they need to look into it to make sure that the unaccounted petroleum products are being, accounted for. And I think they mentioned a couple of recommendations. And so they recommended that the chamber is calling for strict protocol governing the export of petroleum products to neighboring countries to prevent diversion and tax evasion. And this includes developing a comprehensive export manual. So that means that the petroleum products are being exported, and the money that the government is supposed to receive, they don't actually receive it. So there's tax evasion there. So it's also proposed that export permits should be backed by confirmed letters of credit from international banks or verified payments through the Bank of Ghana. And additionally, they are also urging the National Petroleum Authority and other stakeholders to develop guidelines to regulate transfer of refined products from refined tanks to commercial storage facilities. So these are the recommendations that they brought on board to make sure that we don't experience such things again. Miss Regina, anything you want to add up to that before we move to our next story?
Okay, so I think the main reason why most of these people are avoiding tax is probably because you would have to also hear from them. If only they'll see the corporates to talk to. But I feel like the main reason why most of individuals or business owners avoid taxes is because of high these taxes are. Because at the end of the day, you'd pay taxes and you'd also come back and make sure that you serve the consumers. Sometimes the taxes they pay does not correlate with how they sell this petrol products to consumers. And most of the times at the end of the day, make us say be a normal koboka. So to the government also, they need to check the taxes these individuals pay. If probably they can reduce it so that it would lessen their financial burden on them.
So you, for in your opinion, if I'm guessing your submission, you're saying that because these taxes are actually too much, that is why
expensive. Because from what I have here, for every liter,
so 199 million.
So they charge taxes and levies on every liter of fuel imported. Even if it's 1 liter, they'll charge it on it. So just imagine you're importing like 600 or 3 million liters of fuel. So each and every one of it, taxes are on it. So you'd have to pay all of them. So I feel like it's a financial burden on these individuals, they'll find ways and means to make sure that they invade it. It's just like the cocoa farmers smuggling cocoa out of the country.
Exactly.
They feel like
and
the
those
money
taxes,
the money you're giving to them is not even reasonable enough. So they'll take it out of the country to make sure that they get enough. So they need to check it.
It's something they have to check. Miss Debbie, are you satisfied? Are you okay? Right, let's proceed.
Should give you water to
Let's look at our next news item. Published district quotas for teacher recruitment. Edward to GES. The executive director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, has called on the Ghana Education Service to publish district-level recruitment quotas to ensure transparency and fairness in the ongoing teacher recruitment exercise. The GES, in a vacance notice dated April 10th, 2026, opened applications for qualified graduates with Bachelor of Education and related qualifications to apply for teaching positions nationwide. The application window runs from April 10th to April 17th, 2026. Kofi Asare stressed that publishing recruitment quotas for each district would help promote accountability in the allocation and deployment of teachers. According to him, making the quota system public would enable civil society organizations and education stakeholders to monitor distribution and ensure that teachers are deployed to areas where they are most needed. He explained that this approach would also help address the imbalance in teacher distribution, where some districts remain overstaffed while others, particularly in deprived areas, continue to suffer shortages. We require that the GES will be transparent. They should publish the quotas that are given to every district so that CSOs based on the quotas would go to every district and demand accountability from the district directors on how they distribute their quotas. We need to make sure that nobody goes to the district that is already overpopulated. We call on the GES to be transparent, publish the quotas, he emphasized. He further urged government to fulfill its pledge of providing teachers with a 20% deprived area incentive to attract and retain staff in underdeserved communities. Meanwhile, some unemployed teachers applying for the GES recruitment exercise have raised concerns over challenges with the online application system. According to them, some colleges of education were initially missing from the portal, forcing applicants to select institutions they did not attend in order to complete their application. So this is from EduWatch, and EduWatch is a, how will I say it, CSO for education, right? They are mostly based in education when it comes to education, and then they are urging the GES to publish district quotas for teacher recruitment. And when this happens, it's going to enable the term. Miss Regina, your thoughts?
Okay, so I think it's a very good call and it's a right step in the right direction. What it means in simple terms is to make sure that GES makes the recruitment of teachers transparent. Transparent in the sense that when we look at our recruitment system now, I personally think it's biased. It's biased in the sense that when you look at the rural areas, they need more teachers. We've seen videos, we've seen complaint from some of these teachers from the rural areas, especially because sometimes you get there and the students are lacking, especially when it comes to English. In as much as English is not a local dialect, but that is what we use as a means of communication between two people. And also, what was I been saying? Why you people laugh?
Producer is confusing you.
So simple. They should publish it. Asante Mampong, they need 5 teachers. Accra, they need 2 teachers. Ganshikpo, they need 10 teachers. Mangwasi, they need 20 teachers.
Yeah, so they should be specific.
Exactly, they should be specific. But here lies the case where they can recruit teachers, and almost like all the qualified teachers have been brought to the Greater Accra region. It's overpopulated. The Greater Accra region, they are already established with teachers, and it should end at it should end there. It should end there. But when you go to the Mangwase, find in Chinabatu Chalk School, some of them don't even have teachers. And mind you, some of these teachers do not even want to go there. So that is where the incentive comes in.
The 20%.
Exactly. Me, I like money. So if I see money like that, it will ginger me. I will go. Exactly. And mind you, that place, aside you having issues with electricity, I think electricity is the only issue there, and also advanced equipment, they do not have it. Living in a rural area is very nice. It's a nice experience.
Oh, yes.
You get fresh food to eat. That Accra, processed foods, junk foods, that is what you be eating each and every time. So with what he's saying that they should publish the quotas, I think is a good thought. It's a good call. Transparency, and it ends there.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much, Miss Debbie.
So yes, for the sake of transparency, it needs to be made public. We have schools that are lacking teachers. So when you make it known, I mean, they get to know that, well, this school is lacking maybe teachers in the field of science, biology, or maybe in English or mathematics. Then they bring in more teachers. But some schools are overstaffed. And the thing is, every fresh graduate would like to work in a city, not in a village. That is the mindset. So if you don't do that, by the time you realize it, we have a lot of people being crowded in a particular school. You can go to a school and then we have like mass teachers, like 4. Four, like excess. While we have other schools that need a teacher is running all courses from P6 to JHS3. The pressure alone. And I feel like teaching should be something that the teacher shouldn't be pressured. The teacher needs sound mind to teach this student. So it is very, very necessary. And with incentives, it's not bad. But should we keep doing that? The best thing is that develop these areas. Develop this places that the teachers don't want to go. If you develop it, they will go. But when you don't develop it, and then, like, I feel like all the time we don't bring lasting solutions to a problem. We always cut corners. I'm not saying incentives is bad. You encourage them, but what can we do again? Is to build the schools. You can go to a village where they have well-structured school building, bungalows or accommodation for teachers. You don't need to stress. I don't think the teacher will not go. They will go. After baby or corner, uncle pay for church. You're not going to pay for transport. This is your house. This is the school. So they will go. But in a case where you are giving them incentives, where they stay is like 20 miles to get to the school, and still pressure, they won't go. Or back 1 month or send a chiaba. Because I can't go and be stressing myself in a village where I have to be tying my phone on a tree, climbing tree to make call. No, now.
Yes, it's so just as Edward has advocated for, it will be better for the GES to, publish the quotas so that at least the people will know that, when it comes to, just as in Chinebe Fachok said, yes, if they will need maybe 5 teachers, they know that, the teachers are here. But if you don't publish it, how would they know? Where are they going to? When it happens like that, I feel like it makes things very disorganized. So at least if it is published, people get to know what they want and then where they're also going to. And as for the incentive, as Miss Regina said, she likes money. So if you're going to increase her salary, if you're going to, add a percentage to her salary, and that is going to encourage her to go to the village,
I'll go.
Why not? She will go. Because she knows that at the end of every month, after her salary, another 20%. But mind you that
even waste money on food.
Teacher, the man Kenya bro, the body bro. Consist of fresh. Everything is fresh. You eat. Baby, you know from. So people take advantage and go to these rural areas. It's only the light and internet, but you'll be fine. As long as there's food. As long as there's food, I'm okay. You
can walk like from here to Anyam Market to charge your phone.
When we get there, we'll know how we process. Right. I think at this juncture, I'm going to leave my ladies to go. Then we dive into the second segment of the show. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this break.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
You're welcome to your favorite online radio station. This is Ghana Talks Radio, and this is the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do also send in your comments on the morning show, and let's get interactive. So as part of the issue for discussion this morning, we'll be looking at issues from the Attorney General and also OSP, and also government reviewing fuel taxes. Those are the two topical issues we'll be looking at this morning. And my guest is already seated. Mr. Enoch Ake Fojo, the NPP communications team member, will be joining us shortly, but we have in the studios with us Mr. Zamani Gausu, who is the NDC communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Zamani, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my sister. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are looking beautiful this morning.
Oh, thank you so much. It's by the grace of God.
I know.
Hope all is well.
Oh, by the grace.
And the
by
weekend?
The grace. We are managing small.
Oh, we thank God.
The weekend wasn't too bad at all.
Not too bad.
You know, yeah.
Small, you go be.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right, before we look into the issue, just to buy some few time for Enoch to get here. There's actually a new development on the issue of Ken Oforiatta, and I think somewhere last week, if I'm not mistaken, on Thursday, we saw in the news that he's been granted bail and he's out of ICE. He's currently at home, but the issue is still ongoing, and then he'll be called back to court on 27th April 2026. Does this in a way affect the extradition process that Ghana is actually pursuing?
All right. So matters of Ken Oforiatta extradition and then he being released from the custody of ICE personally came as a surprise to me. The news was broke. I think I saw it on Facebook on Oliver Vermer's page. He made a post on it that Ken Oforiatta has been released on bail. And upon reading the news, personally, I was so shocked. I was so shocked to the core. I'm like, what at all is happening? First, what we heard was that he has been taken off Interpol red notice. And then second, he has now been granted bail. I'm sure the next thing we'll be hearing is that Oforiatta will no more be extradited to Ghana.
And will be a full resident.
Yes, and even will be given a green card.
Right.
Now the next thing will be is to give him a permanent citizenship. Then we know that finally he is part of them. But you see, this is what gives Ghanaians doubt about politicians. This is the reason why always when politicians go to the ordinary Ghanaians to go and then seek for their support, they try to look at them too, and then they have all sort of comments about the persona of the individuals going to them. Look at what is happening to Ken Oforiatta's issue. You have gladly served the people of Ghana. Only come and then what? Come and then face your stewardship. Come and then answer. Come and then account for the jobs that you've done for the people. We look for you everywhere, we don't see you. And this affirms the people's statement that all politicians are the same. You give them power, they do what they want with the power. At the end of the day, they flee away from accountability. And this is going to happen looking in the eyes of the people. And when you look at some of the English words that are being used to back Oforiatta's decision not to come back, that this is a political witch hunting, this is a whatever. On what basis was the office of the OSP established? This is not a government of NDC going after Oforiatta. No. This is an independent body, an independent office that was initiated by the previous government, of which he played part of it. He even allocated funds to that office for the operation of that particular office. This is the office that is after him. And the office is not saying that I have prosecuted you and for that matter come and face your judgment. No. The office needs you to come and then take part of the process. This is what the office is requesting for. This is the only thing the office is requesting for. Only for us to hear from Oforiatta's lawyers that the man is not feeling well, and for that matter, he's on, how do you call it? He's out there on seeking for medical help. But we saw pictures of Oforiatta. We saw how healthy he was. We saw how active he was in the court when his face was being first heard. What jokes is this? Are we now telling Ghanaians that when they give us their mandate to come and then serve them, we are not going to account to them? Is that what we are telling Ghanaians now? Then a time will come, my sister, the Ghanaian people is going to take matters into their own hands. Because if we are going to give you powers to come and serve us, and you decide not to do the right things, and then we'll need you to come and answer, and then you decide not to mind that, Ghanaians will take things into their own hands. We are seeing what is happening in other African countries. We think same thing cannot happen to us. It can. It could. So look at Burkina Faso. Even Senegal. Look at what is happening in the Middle East. Look at what is happening in Venezuela and co. As a result of what? Bad governance. We are not exceptional. It started like this. Most of the time, we tend to blame the president so much. But you see, personally, I don't have problem with whoever is leading the country. But I see the people around them. The people that the president take as ministers, heads of agency and all those people are stubborn. Almost stubbornness. They are the ones that bring doom to the presidency or the administration of the president. What didn't Oforiatta do? Even in his own government, his own people wanted him out. At a point when Ghanaians were suffering, Ghanaians was calling for a good economy. Ghanaians was calling for good governance. This man was at the world market, borrowing anyhow, and not knowing these monies that he was borrowing, he was personally benefiting from it. With his bank, being the intimidator there or the advisor as to how money should be borrowed, as to how much should be borrowed. After he's done advising, a percentage go to his bank, which is Data Bank. We saw all this and we spoke about it.
Yeah, so for Ken, he has to come back.
You have to come.
He has to
but you
come
see,
back.
now that he's being released off red notice, he has now been given, how do you call it, bail. Yeah, as it stands now, oh.
So you think that our case as it stands now is shaky?
Whoever is leading the case there, me, I'm not. You see, OSP Nankasa, Kisi Ejabin. We'll leave his matter for when we get into the matters. We'll talk about Kisi Ejabin very well.
Yeah, this morning too, I also saw in the news that US has actually supported the extradition of the Maslow,
Sedinam Tamaklo
to be extradited.
Yes, Sedinam Tamaklo. So you see, you heard them ranting anyhow, and Sedinam Tamaklo is here, and she's an NDC, she was whatever. But you see, you were in power for 8 years. You couldn't pursue the lady and get her to Ghana to come and then face her stewardship.
Yeah,
it took the governance of NDC.
Right.
To see to the extradition of Sedinam Tamaklo. So as the news has been said, Sedinam Tamaklo is going to be extradited to Ghana. And then as her case has been heard and sentenced already, I'm sure she will come and face her sentence.
So once she drops into the country, she's going
straight to jail. I'm sure that is how it's going to be, because the case has been heard and it has been sentence has been read already. So what is going to be left is to enforce the sentence. So I'm sure immediately she drops at the airport, national security is going to apprehend her, and then I'm sure she will then start her sentence from there, because hearing case in absence is also another form of judicial process. Yes. So I think she now that she has been extradited, our ears can go to sleep from the side of the MPP. Right now, what is most important is that they should bring Ken. And you see, some of their own people, most of the MPP guys are fully in support of the fact that Ken Ofori-Atta should be back to the country. Because see, in the next round of election, this is going to be basis on which the MPP is going to campaign. Because if the MPP is going to appoint a next finance minister, and after we'll be needing the finance minister to come and then account, and he will also run to United States, then it becomes a problem for them. So anyway, anyhow, they have to find ways and means for Ken Ofori-Atta to come, just so campaign for them in the next election will not be difficult. Because as for us, we are taking records.
Right. So what if table turns and then they be like, oh, if you vote for us, we're gonna bring Ken Ofori-Atta back? Do you think the people of Ghana
if they tell us that
if
we vote for them, they will bring Ken Ofori-Atta back?
But for his case that is to be heard on 27th April, that will actually determine if he will be deported.
Yes. So because I think dissecting the matters very well, the bill granting has to do with his detention in custody.
Yeah.
But as for the process is still ongoing. It's still ongoing. So I think, but you see, I am not even satisfied with the development. I am not so satisfied.
So what are you expecting? What were you expecting?
I was expecting Ken Ofori-Atta to still be on Interpol a red notice. I was expecting Ken Ofori-Atta to still be in the custody of ICE, because Ken Ofori-Atta can change color at any point in time.
Oh,
yes.
But in the US, you can't have
if Ken Ofori-Atta is holding his passport right now, believe you me, the next moment Ken Ofori-Atta will leave the United States
and go to where?
And go to UK. That is what he is known of doing. Because why would you flee the shores of Ghana? Immediately after a government change, you tell us that you are going to seek for medical care. Meanwhile, your government was in power for 8 years. You could not even build a single hospital in this country. Start a single hospital and complete it in this country.
Right. So that is the issue of Ken Ofori-Atta and also the Maslow boss, Sedinam Tamaklo, who will be extradited soon into the country to face her jail term. But as for Ken Ofori-Atta, his case to be held will be held on 27th April, and that is going to bring to light as to whether he'll be deported or not. But as it goes, let's see how things go. So at this juncture, we'll be delving into the main issue that has to do with the whole legal battle between AG and also the OSP. But before I move to Mr. Zamani, I would like for us to go into the issue. Let's just read a brief article. Let's see what exactly is happening before I come to Mr. Zamani to seek his opinion on the matter. The ongoing constitutional battle is gathering steam at Supreme Court as the Attorney General Dominic Ayeni has aligned with arguments challenging the persecutory authority of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, raising fundamental questions about the limit of Parliament's power and the interpretation of the 1992 Constitution. Although the Attorney General is formally listed as the defendant in the case, court filings reveal that he intends to support key aspects of the suit, specifically the claim that the OSP's power to independently prosecute criminal cases is unconstitutional. At the heart of the dispute is Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, which the AG argues vests exclusive prosecutory authority in his office. In a draft statement of case attached to a motion filed on April 8, 2026, the AG contends that this constitutional mandate cannot be altered by ordinary legislation. According to the AG, while Article 88 Clause 4 allows the Attorney General to delegate prosecutory powers, the law establishing the OSP Act 2017 at 959 goes further by effectively transferring rather than delegating that authority. He argues that this creates a structural problem in a sense that instead of the AG maintaining oversight, the OSP operates with what he described as insulated prosecutory powers, undermining constitutional intent. A central plank of the AG's argument is that Article 959 transforms delegation into what he terms as a donation of power. In practical terms, he claims the law compels the Attorney General to step back from prosecuting certain offences, leaving the OSP to act independently. This, he argues, weakens key constitutional controls, tools such as plea bargaining and the power to enter and nolly prosecute mechanisms traditionally used by the Attorney General to oversee prosecutions are no longer effectively applicable where the OSP acts autonomously. The implication, according to the AG, is that Parliament has indirectly stripped his office of essential prosecutory functions without undertaking a constitutional amendment. The AG further contends that Parliament exceeded its constitutional authority by enacting Act 959 in its current form. He argues that any significant alteration of prosecutory powers, especially one affecting constitutional officers, must be done through a formal amendment process, not ordinary legislation. By attempting to redefine prosecutory authority through statute, the AG maintains that Parliament has acted inconsistently with the Constitution, rendering portions of the law invalid. The suit was initiated in December 2025 by private legal practitioner Noah Ephraim Tete Adamte, who is asking the Supreme Court to interpret whether the OSP prosecutory mandate complies with constitutional provisions. Among the reliefs sought is a declaration that Act 959 is unconstitutional to the extent that it grants the OSP independent prosecutory authority. The suit also challenges specific provisions, particularly Section 3, Clause 3 and 4, arguing that they unlawfully remove the Attorney General's control over criminal prosecution. the case presents a far-reaching constitutional question. Can an independent anti-corruption body exercise prosecutory powers separate from the Attorney General, or must all such authority ultimately remain under the AG's control? The Supreme Court's eventually ruling could redefine the operational boundaries of the OSP and reshape Ghana's anti-corruption architecture. It may also clarify the extent to which parliaments can legislate on matters already governed by explicit constitutional provisions. For now, the AG has sought additional time to formally file his full statement of case, signaling that a detailed constitutional showdown lies ahead. So this is actually the legal battle between the Attorney General and also the OSP. Who is working independently? Who gets to transfer the powers? The issues are a lot, but we'll look into it. Mr. Zamani.
All right.
This is the issue at hand.
Yes.
This morning.
Yes, you see. But before I go into the matters of OSP and then his mandate and then prosecutorial powers, on my way here, I took it upon myself to search on the internet the greatest infrastructure project to ever happen in Ghana. And when I checked Google, the list that was given to me, number 1 was Akosomo Dam. Number 2 was Tema Harbour. Number 3 is Kotoka International Airport, which is today Accra International Airport. And then number 4 has to do with Tema Motorway. And you see, why am I saying this? Infrastructure today is part of the backbone of every country. When you look through the World Bank reports on the backbones of a country, roads is not left out. That is why today His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has expressly made his plans known to Ghanaians to construct an Accra Kumasi Express route, which will connect these two busy economic centers. You know, from Kumasi to Accra, enye sikaketwa na efasoba. You see, the road that link Kumasi to Accra, which has to do with the Insawum Road Dago, was a road that was constructed way back during colonial days, which saw Sir Gojisbeck connecting Kumasi and Accra. So today, if His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has found it in his own wisdom to construct such route to connect Accra Kumasi, which is close to 200 kilometers, I think His Excellency John Dramani Mahama deserves some applause. So over last week, we saw the Minister for Roads, Mr. Agboja, Honorable Agboja, visit the Otumfo, the Ashanti regional, Ashanti King, to seek for his blessings for the construction of the Accra Kumasi Express route. And we saw that Otumfo gave a very nice blessings to him, of which in his comment he stated that Mr. Honorable Agboja should go ahead with the construction of the route and ignore the naysayers and ignore the noise makers.
Not to cut you. There's been reports that the money allocated for that particular road has been paid for fully.
Who paid for it?
Has been paid for.
Has been who?
They should tell us. By the government.
Which is it the previous government or this government?
Of course, this government.
Yes! If it is this government, then the government deserves an applaud. You see, the government deserves an applaud. So, I believe if this road should materialize, you know, this is a six-lane road. In 6, out 6. So, in total, we are looking at 12. So, if this road is supposed to materialize, believe you me, moving from Accra to Kumasi is going to be with ease. Today, if you are to move from Accra to Kumasi using this road there, Nkoko Road, you will spend in Saono, you will spend not less than 6 hours on that road. But Kumasi and then Accra shouldn't be a distance. Today, people are leaving Kumasi to come and stay in Accra just because they cannot move to and fro. People are moving from Accra to go and stay in Kumasi just because they cannot move to and fro. But if there is a seamless transportation means, people can still live in Kumasi, come and work in Accra, and then go back. Today, if anybody from Kumasi, any prominent person from Kumasi, for instance, there Otumfo or Tutu, wants to come to Accra for a program, Otumfo has to buy ticket for himself and over 30 delegations, which we see that it is bearing so much cost for the chief, the king. And for that matter, if this road should materialize, Otumfo can be using the express road, 6 lane, and within 2 hours, less than 2 hours, Otumfo is in Accra. You get me? So I believe we Ghanaians have to support the Minister for Roads and then His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We've been told that latest by 2028, 2029, the road is going to be completed. So our hope and prayer is that the road see the light of the day. And I believe if this road should be, commissioned, it is going to be the greatest infrastructure that will ever happen in this 21st century. Because something like this has never happened before. The ones we see most is 2 lane and then 3 lane. So if you are getting 6 lane in and out, it is in the right direction. So I applaud the road minister and then His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Sugo. And we thank Otumfo Tutu for also giving us his blessings and then giving us his full support that we should go ahead with the project. Now back to the OSP and then Attorney General. You see, all these matters, the only reason why we are here today is because of the individual holding the office.
Because of the individual?
Yes, because of the individual. Kisi Ejabin.
Okay. Well, what has he done?
Yes. It is not about the establishment of the office. It is about who is operating the office.
He's not doing
Kisi Ejabin is literally doing nothing in the office, in the space. It is only settings and gimmicks. Press conference, bebre on yeshe. How many press conference hasn't Kisi Ejapin hold on Kenoforiate's issue? Even before NDC take over power, how many press conference didn't Kisi Ejapin hold? At the point he told that he was Ankunam. Whilst powers have been delegated to you, you've been given powers. A whole establishment has been given to you. The office is not run by you alone. Senior members in the police, senior members from Iyoko, even people from the office of the Attorney General support the OSP's office. Now, what is stopping Kisi Ejapin from doing his constitutional duties? Personally, I am not of the support that the office should be scrapped because I know where this is leading to. If the Attorney General, it is leading to them scrapping the office, deleting the office at all. Because,
but don't you think it's rather correcting what the Constitution and what he's mandated to do?
Yes, my view is different.
Okay,
you get me. My view is different. You see, the basis on which the office was established to prosecute politically exposed people on corruption and corruption-related offenses. And most of the time, you know that Attorney General does not have the balls to prosecute their own people. Attorney General, you dare not prosecute your own people, but they might be the wrongdoers. That is why an independent office has been established. You know, the office of the OSP is seen as that of the electoral commissioners and all. You get me?
Yeah.
Because we don't tend to see the interference of political parties too much in there. Yeah. Regardless that the powers have been given to the president to appoint it, but you don't see the interference of political party in there too much. As to that of the other ministries that we see, because you can see the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Roads, you can see political parties going in there to lobby for their own personal interests and all. But you don't see that happening to that of the Electoral Commission. That is the same way OSP's office is supposed to be run. But what are we seeing today? You see, we read Article 88, which has to do with powers that has been given to the Attorney General to be the sole, to be the one that holds the prosecutorial authority with regards to government cases. I see, in this vein, that's the framers of the act of the OSP carved some of the powers from the Attorney General and then gave it to the OSP. So now, when we read the functions of the office of the OSP, the OSP can prosecute. The functions.
He has the mandate.
Yes.
He has the authority.
No.
To.
He, as part of the functions of the OSP, he has prosecutorial functions. But he does that with the aid or from authority from the Attorney General's office. He needs to take clearance from Attorney General's office. So this is where the Act with that's Act 4. It says that mandate of the office, that's the office of the OSP, except as otherwise provided in the Constitution. The office of the OSP is not subject to directions or control of a person or an authority in the performance of the functions of the office. The office does not, you get me, does not kowtow to any other office. Then we come to clause 2. It says that subject to clause 4 of Article 88, that is Article 88, which gives the mandate to the Attorney General to be the sole prosecutor. You get me? So now this clause is saying that with the mandate that has been given to the OSP, it is now subject to what? Article 88. You get me? So now it says that Article 88 of the Constitution, the office shall, for the purposes of this act, be authorized by the Attorney General to initiate and conduct the prosecution of corrupt and corruption-related offenses. So this clearly states that the office does not work in isolation. The office does not work on its own accord. Before the office can go ahead with any prosecution, it must seek directions from the Attorney General's office. You get me? And so today, if the Attorney General is pushing that whatever powers, what the Attorney General should be doing today is to enforcing the mandate that has been given to his office. You get me? Because you don't allow the office of the OSP to operate in isolation. They need to report to you. So if you are now going to, to court to challenge the existence of the office of the OSP, on what grounds are you going to? I am not a lawyer though. But I am just giving my common knowledge that I know about this.
Right.
You get me? What I think we need to be looking at now is the individual that is holding the office. We saw Martin Amidu hold the office. We saw the rate, the level of respect that was given to Martin Amidu and the way he executed his work. Everybody anywhere was so confident in Martin Amidu to deliver. But today, look at what is happening to Kisi Ejabin. Kisi Ejabin is holding press conference here and there. Who has Kisi Ejabin prosecuted successfully? None. We cannot mention any name. Kisi Ejabin has prosecuted nobody. Even the ones that we had hope in him, that we knew that, as for this person there, his crimes and wrongdoings are all over. It is clear for everyone to see. That of Oforiata, even that one can't me Fakoto and Yankwine. Today the person is being taken off a red notice. He has been given bail. Who knows what will happen next? And everywhere you read into the matters very well, it shows that Kisi Ejabin is not giving priority to the case. At a point when I was reading on the basis why the extradition has delayed, I learned the document has not been completed and submitted to the how do you call it? The officials of the United States, which is very bad. So I believe that the office should not be scrapped. The office should be maintained because see, the only reason why politicians today are scared of wrongdoing is because of this particular office. I'm telling you. Because gone were the days where Attorney General is appointed by the president. And for that matter, he has the powers of prosecution. There was no an independent office like that of the OSP. And for that matter, politicians go ahead with wrongdoings anyhow. And Attorney General put a blind eye to it. And we only tend to discover this wrongdoing when change of government happens.
You get me?
So office of the special prosecutor is there to prosecute politicians. I'm telling you, the main reason why that was that office was established is because of politicians.
But looking at the role of the OSP, it is actually set to investigate political officers as well and public officials as well.
Yes, even private individuals.
Even private individuals. Whereas the Attorney General is more or less like a legal advisor to the president and also look into general corruption issues.
Yes, Attorney General has
well.
yes.
And now bringing to light that the OSP has to take authority from the Attorney General. Do you think that if the OSP is supposed to investigate political officers and then all of that, and is said to be an independent body to work solely on that, and now he has to take authority, do you think that there's not going to be any sort of influence, or if he's even working independently? Because if it's something that is political that the OSP has to work on and has to seek authority from the Attorney General, and just as you mentioned, the Attorney General is affiliated to a particular party and is being brought in by the president, would the Attorney General give the OSP that authority to prosecute that person?
That is also a question that we need to be looking at. And you see, the framers of the Constitution didn't want to give the OSP so much power that the powers of the Attorney General will be undermined. You get me? And for that matter, as the prosecutorial powers have been given to the OSP as part of its functions, seeking clearance from the office of the Attorney General does not mean the Attorney General must give way before the OSP can perform its duties. No. But the powers of the Attorney General, powers that have been given to Attorney General to go ahead with prosecution, has been carved to be given to the office of the OSP.
So the OSP also has that power.
Yes, right. The OSP has the powers as part of the functions. The OSP has powers to prosecute individuals. But the sole mandate before was given to that of the Attorney General. But now that the office was created, some have been carved. So it is not full. There are some crimes, or there are some criminal acts that OSP can go ahead. You get me? Independently.
And deal with those
deal
issues.
With it.
Without seeking authority from the Attorney General.
So you could see that issues that when the Oforiatta issues came up, which has to do with the extradition, you saw that the two offices collaborated just to put up documents together to submit to get Oforiatta into the country. The OSP could not directly deal with the officials of the officials of the United States. He had to collaborate with the Attorney General, the Attorney General's department. You get me? So I think what we need to be looking at right now, me personally, my problem has to do with the individual. The office, I believe, it should not be scrapped. The office should not be debated about. The office should be there and operate. But we need to take a second look at the person that is heading the office.
Right. If this issue is actually coming up now, then how was the OSP working formally with the then Attorney General, which was Godfred Odame?
They were those. We saw him come out to do a press conference. That was when he came to tell us he was uncle now. You forgot it. So you could clearly see that he according to him those times, he did not have his independence to work. The interference was too much for him. He held press conference and then he came to speak. You saw his own party people bashing him left, right, center. And under his own watch, he sat to watch Ken Oforiatta. How do you call it? Kisi Japan started Oforiatta's issue not today. He started Oforiatta's issue way back 2024. I'm telling you, before government even changed. And he sat to watch Oforiatta flee off the country. And today you come to hold press conference to tell us what. And even when this matter is in court, I learned he wants to join the case and be part of it and go and then defend the office of the special prosecutor. This is matters of constitution. This is matter of constitution. this is not a criminal something that we are there to challenge who is right or who is wrong. We are only there to seek for proper interpretation of the provisions in the Constitution. And for that matter, if the Attorney General is there to say that, I have the mandate to do this, and for that matter, the mandate should be allowed to me solely to do my work. What is your duty as an individual who have been appointed to chair the office? What is your duty there? You have no role to play in this whole process. This is the Attorney General seeking for proper interpretation of the law. And if it should go through that, yes, there is no confliction between the work of the OSP and then the work of the Attorney General, and for that matter, the office should be maintained. Fair enough. It will be maintained. And you see, the way Kisi Ejabin is behaving with the office of the special prosecutor, I'm not sure he has it at the back of his head that he can be taken off at any point in time if a prima facie is determined that he's not performing his duty very well.
Right. Now, let's look at what Parliament actually has to do with this particular issue. I think the AG also raised some issue. So the AG further contends that Parliament exceeded its constitutional authority by enacting Act 959 in its current form. He argues that any significant alteration of persecutory powers, especially one affecting constitutional officers, must be done through a formal amendment process, not ordinary legislation. By attempting to redefine prosecutory authority through statutes, the AG maintains that Parliament has acted inconsistently with the Constitution, rendering portion of the law invalid. So this is what the Attorney General also has to say about enacting that particular act without going through, in its current form, without going through the right process of doing that. Do you think that doing all of this is actually bringing about all these issues?
What is the right process? I am not a lawyer. So if the Attorney General, you see, way back 2017, 2018, when this bill was brought to Parliament and was being debated on, I think we saw Honorable Adongo, the former Mama Ayariga, and then the current Attorney General, firmly debating on the floor of the House, sharing their thoughts and knowledge on, that was when you could clearly see law on the floor of the House. You see, hear legal minds speaking.
Yeah.
And you see, all this, I'm sure, boils down to how the office was formed. And you see, let's not take away the main reason or the notion behind the formation of this particular office. You see, if we debate and then we take, say, and I say the reason why I establish the office, when we take that particular one out, we will not tend to appreciate what we are going to benefit from that particular office. You get me? And for that matter, there is a need for us to know that the office of the OSP was established to prosecute politicians.
Specifically politicians.
Specifically. You see, yes, it could be broad, but in the broader nature of it, we see the office of the Attorney General doing the other part. But when it comes to dealing with their own people, where the office of the Attorney General is scared of going after them, that is where
the
this OSP comes in.
Looking at this whole issue is actually a very dicey issue.
Very, very, very easy. We need legal minds to dissect this very well, so that we can clearly articulate our feelings. But you see, personally, Kisi Ejabin must go.
All right, so that looks like that's a personal something that you're actually advocating for.
And this is not the first time I'm saying this.
Yeah. I think you've said that here on this platform before. Well, what should we be expecting if the Supreme Court actually rules against the OSP? Does that mean that the other cases that he's actually looking into currently will be transferred to the Attorney General? Or better still, we'll wait to appoint or do the right thing before we can proceed?
So I don't know.
That means that corruption cases actually come to a halt.
No. You see, what the office of the Attorney General is seeking up to do now is take back powers that has been, or look at the confliction between the office
them
of the,
and define it properly.
you get me. So when that is determined, that confliction is determined, then the next process will begin. But I foresee that if whatever the Attorney General is looking for is established in the court of law, in the Supreme Court, the next thing in line is scrubbing the office of the OSP. Because see, if you read Dito and understand Article 88 very well and read the mandate of the OSP, you could see a confliction. You could clearly see a confliction, because I have the powers and some of my powers has been given to you. And before you can even execute those powers, you need to consult me in executing those powers. What if I decide not to give clearance to it? This is my common knowledge that I'm giving out to. But I'm sure legal minds are going to broaden up. This is what I am seeing. And for that matter, there is the need for us to differentiate, give the OSP some independence aside of the Attorney General's office. You get me? Just so there will not be confliction between the two.
Yeah. So I think that is what we need to do as a country. Well, earlier this morning, during our news review with my ladies, Ms. Debbie actually raised a concern that what if we allow the OSP to operate under the Attorney General? Could that work? Or you see
that one is from frying pan to fire.
Or you see an interference from
great one. Because the OSP actually has a board of directors, where we have a representative from the IOCO, we have a representation from Ghana Police Service, we have a representation from the criminals department, we even have a representation from I think the national security. So it is managed by a whole body. So if it's now being put under the auspices of the OSP, then that broad chain of management will now be dissolved, and it now becomes a department under the, how do you call it, the Attorney General's office. Then the duties of it now reside to the sayings or the doctrines of the Attorney General, which I believe is not in the right direction. And for that matter, if the office is going to be scrapped, it should be scrapped off totally, rather than coming to place it under the office of the Attorney General. Then if it becomes like that, what becomes their duty? They now whatever we were fighting for before, it looks like we've now even affirmed it and given more people to be more rendered ourselves out to be milked. You get me?
So for that one, in your opinion, you think it's the
no.
The OSP can't work directly.
No. They cannot be placed
can't
under.
even be an umbrella under the.
No. When it happens like that, the motive behind it,
is gone.
Yes.
Yeah, the purpose of of setting up
the office,
yeah. So, for Mr. Zamani, it's a no for the OSP to operate directly under the Attorney General's office. Right, before we leave this particular topic, your final submission on this. What are your final expectations for this particular case? Should it be that the Supreme Court actually rules against the OSP, or even for the motion, or you think this can actually be sorted out of court?
Oh, this cannot be sorted out of court. You see, this is clear interpretation. You see, we should appreciate the rule of law. This is democracy at its best. You get me? This is democracy at its best, where judiciary is performing its duty. You know, the office of the Attorney General forms part of the judiciary. And for that matter, if there is matters of confusion on understanding of clauses of the law, there's a need for us to get proper understanding, just to appreciate matters very well. You get me? You see, when it comes to law, people have their own perception and their own interpretation, but we have people that are well experienced. So for that matter, let's allow the processes to go through. And if it should come out that there is a confliction, let's look at dealing with whatever confliction is there. Let's deal with it and leave the office alone for the office to operate and sack Kisi Ejapin and bring a different person. I think that
hey, you and Kisi Ejapin.
Oh, Kisi.
You can't. You actually wish one day you just sleep, you wake up and then you hear that
because if we've given you the office to run for more than.
But for how many years has he
years.
even worked under your tenure?
Kisi Ejapin is NDC. This is our second.
Good.
Third.
So you haven't really experienced him. So don't you think you should give him the benefits of a doubt that he can actually do better in the coming years?
Oforiatta, that is obvious. Oforiatta's crime is all over Ghana. It is signatory in all over. When you get to,
I think as it stands now, we can't say that he has committed a crime. Oforiatta. We can't say that he has committed a crime.
Then you should come. Why is he running?
You have to prove it.
Oh,
if you say that
you know you've not committed a crime, why are you running?
So save yourself. I don't think that.
That is my problem. That is my problem. You see, this is why we need to establish the regional tribunals. And you see, cases of this nature should be given a timeline. If it is 3 months, let's deal with it. Our judicial system prolong cases too much. It prolongs cases too much. One case can be called. Look at this NSS woman's case. As it stands now, they are still going to court back and forth. Cases of this nature, people have so much interest in it. Because this is taxpayers' money that have been used untowardly.
Exactly.
So people eyes are following it. Cases like this, give a timeline to it. Give a specific judge to it. And let's give all focus to it. And deal with the case once and for all. Just so to put trust, Ghanaians will have trust back in government, in politicians.
Right.
Slowly, their trust is dying off. And if it should completely die off, I'm not sure we'll like it in this country.
We'll like it in this country, exactly. So we got to do what we have to do. Right. We are moving on to our second topic for discussion. And government is looking at reviewing fuel taxes amid Middle East conflict. Government is moving to review and possibly cut fuel taxes following a sharp rise in global oil prices triggered by the ongoing Middle East conflict, particularly tensions involving Iran. Ghana, which imports about 70% of its refined petroleum product, has been significantly affected, with petrol prices rising from about 15% and diesel by nearly 19% in early April 2026. And in response to this, the government has announced plans to remove some taxes and levies along the fuel supply chain to cushion consumers. And this intervention is expected to last for about 4 weeks initially and will be reviewed depending on global conditions and oil price movement. Do you think that this is actually going to be a big relief for consumers of petroleum products?
Very well. You see, today we have a government, a listening government, the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, deem it so fit that a global crisis happened, and for that matter, he calls for a cabinet meeting, an emergency cabinet meeting, to look at ways that the people can be relieved of this hardship.
Yeah.
I'm sure for the first time, consumers of petroleum products are going to be happy, and they will clap that we have a listening government,
right,
or we have a president that listens to the people. You see, gone were the days when the people complain, the response we hear is Sikam Pedede. Gone were the days when the president of the land goes to voter region and then a chief complains that a school that has been built and the tenure of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been left to rot in the bush, and for that matter, he's giving the president a couple of months to see to the operation of the school, just so his people can attend the school. The president sat on radio to say that if the chief has powers, he should go and then open the school. And it's not the chief that is going to give him ultimatum. Gone were the days when we had ministers of states telling us that we should draft our own timetable when we were facing power crisis in this country. Ministers of state were telling us that we should draft our own timetable. They say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts people. And we clearly saw that in the time of the MPP. But today, a government have deemed it fit that fuel prices is becoming a crisis just within 3 weeks. And for that matter, he has summoned an emergency cabinet meeting to see to how Ghanaians can be relieved of. And this I know, I believe that strongly we need to clap for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And you see, whatever is happening within the Middle East, we are facing it directly. Even as individuals, when you read the news and then you do your analysis very well, you can clearly see that this is even affecting the price of food commodities. Just a couple of weeks ago, I think somewhere last week, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, made a statement that he is going to wipe off a whole civilization, which saw citizens of Iran forming a human bridge, a human border in their power plants and then their oil refineries. And at a point, we then have to see a communication that they have come into an agreement to halt and then cease fire and allow oil to pass through the Straits of Hormuz, which we all know that that particular narrow, particular road there, that particular sea route there, hosts about 20% of the world oil passes through that particular lane, which we clearly know that Iran has power over it and now decided to block it. And you see, Ghana, as independent we are, when we go to the oil market to buy, we do not have a side. We don't say, oh, we buy from Iran, we buy from here, we buy from where it is available. And we don't determine the prices of how we should buy it. So wherever we are going to buy our crude oil from, and you see, even Ghana and Gazabo, we don't buy the oil in its raw nature. We most of the time buy it in its refined nature. You don't buy the crude oil. You see, Tema Oil refinery is in operational today, and the barrels at which Tema Oil refinery can refine crude oil cannot, sustain the population. And for that matter, there's a need for us to import. So if we are looking at the way the war between the US and then Iran is going, and it doesn't look like it is stopping today, and we can clearly see the impact of it all over the world. Today when you go to US, a barrel of oil has now moved from $90-something to $100-something. And for that matter, if His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has summoned a cabinet meeting to instruct the Minister for Finance and the Minister for Energy to look at what? Taking off some taxes. Hey, my sister. Taking off some taxes to cushion. And as I speak to you now, in the next window, in the next pricing window, which is this week, the next pricing window will be announced, and we are going to see it for ourselves. Gone were the days where fuel prices were 17 cedis, of which we had over 12 taxes on it. When Ghanaians were complaining, the government decided not to mine us.
We still have 12 taxes on it.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. The government then could have done something about it. Today, what is the prices of fuel now? At a point, it was around 11 cedis, 12 cedis. Today, it is 13 cedis. If it is 13 cedis today and the government is looking at taking off some taxes to cushion the people, the previous government could have done the same thing. But what they did was to what? Ignore the people. And was roaming all over and was telling us, when we talk about hardship, they say Russia-Ukraine war. When we talk about hardship, they say COVID-19. What did COVID-19 come to do to us? Even this COVID-19 that came to kill people in this world, these people were taxing us on it. COVID-19 that came to do us doom, these people were benefiting financially from COVID-19. Those were the days where Ken Ofori-Atta was walking all over with his white kaftans and then raising his shoulders on us, quoting Bibles for us, and was telling us that Akufo-Addo too was all over saying all sort of things. So if a government today is taking off taxes to cushion the people, and what they say is what? Almost a day. What is the other side saying? That the government is not doing well or the government is not doing what? if you don't like the cushion, or you are not in support of the cushioning that is coming to happen, see, when you get to the fuel station, you can tell the beautiful young lady there that, see, I want to buy the fuel at 17 cedis that we left it.
Cedis. I don't know if you read this from the minority. They've actually welcomed the initiative from the president to review the fuel taxes. But then again, they are also asking that government also comes to account for the 1 cedi levy they actually took from us.
Have they accounted for the COVID-19 levies they took? Has Ken Oforiatta come to account for his stewardship? They are the one calling for accountability. Hey, but sometimes MPP, when they think when we eat fufu we don't drink soup or what? They are calling for accountability. We were clearly told what the 1 cedi levy is going to be used for. For cushioning Ghanaians. And that is something we are about to experience now. That is something we are about to experience now. If they are calling for accountability, they should come and account to us what COVID-19 money was used for. If they are calling for accountability, they should come and tell us what betting tax was used for. If they are calling for accountability, they should come and tell us what emission tax was used for. If they are calling for accountability, they should come and tell us the monies that was dumped into the building of the National Cathedral. They should come and account for those monies. If they are calling for accountability, they should come and tell us Attorney General's report on Cocoa Roads, all the chunks of money that was missing. They should come and tell us where those money has been. They are calling for accountability. Really? Really? And the way they are even happy that they've welcomed it. Asheme Papa, they shouldn't have welcomed it.
Right.
They shouldn't have welcomed it.
This is actually a good call from the government. No doubt about that. But mind you that it's also in a way going to cost the government some money. And then reading from this, they said governments could lose nearly 500 million Ghana cedis a month for every 1 cedi cut from fuel taxes. Government
is losing money every day.
Yeah.
See.
Has the government actually considered that the other alternative they can actually fall on before coming up with such a very...
If taxes are being placed on, and you see, reasons why taxes are being placed on, we intend to incur some taxes, is to get us cushioned as to some unforeseen events. And whatever is happening at the global market today is an unforeseen event. It is not something that we were expecting to happen. And for that matter, these taxes we are paying, these are some of the reasons. So if whatever taxes we were paying before has been able to accumulate some money, and for that matter can be taken off in a particular moment, because we've been given ultimatum that 4 weeks. If this tax can be taken off within these 4 weeks, for Ghanaians to get some ease and operate freely, my sister, why not? Today, go to the port. Go to the port and see the number of money that is slipping off immigration hand. Some months ago, you saw the finance minister go to the port and then was so angry at the immigration officers there, sitting aloof for monies to slide off their hands. Those were serious monies. And you see, one thing that Ghana we lack so much is to enforce taxes and take taxes. Electricity alone that we buy annually, electricity company Ghana Limited cannot account or do not get back the number of powers that they give out. They don't get money equivalent to that amount. And for that matter, if they are saying that government is going to lose money, if government is ready to lose money for the people, why not? We are not looking at that part. We are looking at the people that we are serving. We are looking at the people that has given us the mandate to serve. This is where we are looking at. And for that matter, they should spare us with their comments. They should leave us with their comments. Our focus is the ordinary Ghanaians. This is the person we are looking at. Our focus is the trotro driver on the street. Our focus is the commercial driver that moves from Accra to Tamale every day. Our focus is the commercial driver that moves from Tamale to Paga. Our focus is the commercial driver that moves from Sampa to Accra. These are our focus. These are the people that we are looking at, and this is why this intervention is being taken. You know, the president is not in the country. This should tell you how serious the president takes us. Even in his absence, he's taking serious intervention. Let's clap for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Right. And I hope and believe that the ultimatum that has been given, you see, personally, my prayer is that whatever is happening in the Middle East should come to an end, because this intervention is just for 4 weeks. And if after 4 weeks, the markets that control oil and crude oil is not,
it's still going up.
It's not operating freely and is still subjected to this war, we'll still go back to having this conversation again. So my prayer is that whatever is happening there should come to an end. Should come to an end.
Yeah, obviously.
That because the whole world is facing it now. When you go to US, you go even the Middle East, they are facing it. Even the Middle East is facing it. And then you go to all over, everybody is facing it. Even most of African countries are. Today, when you go to a neighboring country, Cote d'Ivoire, fuel prices is on the sky, is skyrocketing. Even friends in Nigeria here, Campo cry, it is not easy over there. In abundance, it is not easy over there. So our prayer is that whatever is happening there, you see, when the ceasefire agreement happened, as part of the agreement, I think between the two countries, they were 10 points on which they stood on to ceasefire, and one of those was the US and then the Israel leaving Hamas and then Gaza off the bombing. And I think that has been gone contrary to. I don't know what is wrong with Israel. What is Israel's problem? It's like Israel finds so much delight in bombing countries. What is their problem? So these days that the world want to be a free world, we are all operating freely, the world being a global village. Enjoy we are Israel there. Yours is to be bombing anyhow. And when you bomb and you are not able to go again, they will go and see Israel now offer US US was never interested in this
whole conflict.
And today US is even paying more price than Israel. They have their military camps or military bases in the Middle East attacked all over. And you see, Iran is not, how do you call it, a shell to walk on. Iran have a very thick skin. They have a very thick skin. For that matter, they are facing US head on. They are not backing off anytime soon. But what we are praying is that they should see and then bring an end to this.
And bring an end to the Middle East conflict. Yes. This is actually our prayer too, that the Middle East conflict will come to an end. And as they say that we have a very listening president. He has listened to the calls of Ghanaians and also especially the drivers that fuel taxes should be reviewed, and he has actually come to the plea of Ghanaians, and fuel taxes actually being reviewed as it stands now, and as to which of the taxes will actually be scrapped, we'll get to know in the coming days. Thank you so much, Mr. Zamani, for joining us. But before you leave us, your last words, please.
All right. Thank you so much. I want to say a very good morning to our listeners again, and then I want to thank the team here at Ghana Talk Radio for always giving us the opportunity. Today, the National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, is in Ashanti region, continuing with his thank you tour.
Thank you to
Ghana for any overwhelming victory. So the National Chairman will be going to Manson Kwanta, will be going to Manson Edubia, will be going to Odotobiri, Fomena, Bekwai, and then Busomchi. Today you'll be visiting all these constituencies today. So comrades over there should gather up in their numbers and then listen to the National Chairman. You see, in one of his comments in Ashanti region, you see, when you go to Ashanti region, the MPP there is pushing an agenda that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Akofa Sirimfo, no, the Omaye DCs, and no Mudi Ashanti Force. But you see, it is so exciting that MPP enim say yeah, Omoya Ashanti region, Uko Ashanti region, and enim say Omoya MPP no, and Omusa Akofa Sirimni say on the Omo flag bearer. ombedi Ghana so my and this a moment nam say asante for mo monto mo and this for sense ma ko fa ceremony e de won be dey sisa and say asante for nto aba mo say ma ko fa ceremony say ombedi Ghana for so you know. Yes, so on this note I want to say thank you, and then comrades out there should support the national chairman General Asiedu Nketia, Chairman General. Very soon. Betty Enka.
Then you Betty. Then and Betty. Also very soon you Betty on and I'm asking him what are we going to hear. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We had such an insightful and educational conversation right here on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, pertaining the issues we actually spoke about on the fuel prices being reviewed, taxes being reviewed, and also on the Attorney General and the OSP's cases as to whether a new development actually comes on this particular cases. We will bring it to your doorsteps. Thank you so much for joining us. Do have a lovely day.